Thank you, Kristen. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Wednesday, 1 April 2026, and this is a regular meeting of the Water Valley Select Board. I am Rich Reed, the chair, and here with me today is Wendy Rathgeber, vice chair, and Dan Bancroft, select board member. So we have a quorum. First thing, privilege of the floor. I see one person from the public here. Do you have a privilege of the floor item? Something not on the agenda?
Yep.
Come on up.
Cindy Pecos, 104 New Peak Road. There's a group of us that were starting a campaign within the town to raise funds for things that were deleted by the budget cuts.
Mhm.
So I just wanted you to know that we're working on the fireworks. We're working on, I've asked Brooke for a list of things that we could also go ahead and have contributions. We're making the contributions through the foundation with the note saying after you make the check out, put what you want the check to go to. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up as to what we're trying to do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
In fact, we were going to discuss this at our 6A, the budget wrap up. So
Okay.
you want to hang around, we should
Yep.
get there. We'll talk about it in more detail, but thank you. Dan, was there something you want?
I was gonna say, do we have a means of accepting that money?
Yeah, we can talk about it. It depends on the category, I guess.
Yeah.
Anybody else for privilege of the floor? All righty, let's move to approval of minutes. So the budget and bond hearing minutes, you guys get a chance to look at them?
I did.
Okay.
It's okay with both sets.
All right, and the regular board, were you, okay,
Yeah.
okay, so let's make a separate motion on each and we'll
I-
move along those.
I will move to accept the budget and bond hearing minutes of February 10th, 2026.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
And I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of February 18, 2026.
Regular select board meeting.
yep,
I will second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, unanimous both. Let us move to department head updates. I'll let you guys decide. Who wants to go first? I see three of the, Ready for it, yeah. all right, that's right, you need to get out early anyway, right?
So, let's see, just wanted to update the board that the new program fees are updated in our software program, and also at the rec department. We've also shared it on our website. And the final prices will go into effect tomorrow. So after tomorrow, we should be 100% updated with those. I haven't done a complete analysis on the impact yet. I'm working on that. However, I did want to share that to date, we are $11,000 more than the entire camp revenue last year. And I expect it to be about 15 to 20,000 more from year over year. So no, that's the increase in camps alone. Yes, Dan.
Is that because of more people? Cause it certainly,
No,
you
it's
didn't
not.
raise the fees that much, that it
No,
would
it's
be
not because of
all
more
in
people.
fees. Okay.
It can depend upon the makeup of who signs up. So for example, with our new fees, it's a $50 difference per week. For a guest versus a taxpayer.
Okay,
So it just depends on the makeup. And I did look at that to show that the numbers, if we have the exact same numbers as last year, it will be a $15,000 increase in revenue. And I am anticipating a much stronger year in camps this year because the Thornton camp that has been running, every year I've been working here is not running this year. So
Oh.
we've already received
What happened, do you
a
know?
lot of those kids. There is a nonprofit sort of grant funded scenario that's no longer being funded. So
Mm.
they don't have any program. They don't have a rec department there. They don't.
Right.
So their kids now have to be absorbed through Waterville camps, which we go the longest throughout the summer than any other camp. Also Campton, of course. I don't think Plymouth is really an option. I don't think they have the capacity. So I do expect our numbers to be up this summer.
And staff wise then, is it, I mean, you're usually very well positioned every year.
We are fully staffed, and I'll just go on
Great.
to that now. That I have hired one camp assistant, 2 general programs, and 1 waterfront staff, and that completes our roster. So it's a very good year for the best I've had since I've been working here in 12 years.
Excellent.
The return rate. So that's really speaks volume of our.
Unknown caller.
That,
And
turn it off.
the supervisor and the camp director that we have in place now. So I'm really proud of that.
That's great.
Did you have any other questions about the rates before I move on?
Have you heard any
No.
negative feedback?
So I haven't, we've talked to a few property owners about it, and there hasn't really been any overwhelming response. So I think personally, what I think will be the biggest pushback is now just if you don't, so for example, the pickleball membership for the taxpayers is $100 a year or $5 per visit. It's just annoying to have to carry $5 with you every time or to go through that whole process. So hopefully people, go with the $100 a year. It's the reason we started that in the first place for the non-residents was so that you could just the convenience of it, right?
Mhm.
So. Anyway, I haven't heard anything, but I will definitely keep you updated
Right.
about that.
And again, just to remind everyone that purpose of raising the rates was to lessen the impact on the budget at tax rate setting time. We would have hopefully more revenue to apply against expenses. And if for people who at this past meeting, town meeting, the 2026 budget, the bottom line, although we were talking about in percentage increase, the bottom line was the impact on the tax rate.
Mhm.
So I think this will take some pressure off whatever that estimated number is in the spring, and then whatever it actually ends up being in the fall. So it's gonna take a year to get through the first cycle, I think, at these rates.
And just as
Mhm.
important with the reduced operating budget expenditures that we're faced with this year, increased revenues will also hopefully help contribute to our surplus at the end of the year as well.
Right,
Sure.
So,
and then what we can do with
And
that in
there's-
fund balance or tax rate, as well as tax rate.
yeah,
Yeah, either one, or both.
exactly.
All right, yeah, sorry to interrupt.
We are still planning on the community cleanup for May 8th. Friday, May 8th. I did attend a meeting. There's a committee, sort of a Waterville Valley Educational Committee. That's made up of the Ray Center, the Waterville Valley Academy, and WVES. To try to show the education possible, if you lived in Waterville Valley. And so part of that was the conversation about community cleanup. So we'll be doing that with those 3 entities, not sort of all together this year. We might look into that for future years, but they will be a part of it again this year. And I'll make sure to get more information out to the public to let them know how they can participate. The Shine and Warriors groups will be in town again. The Shine group is in town the May 7th, no, 8th and 9th, Dave, or 7th, 8th and 9th.
It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right?
Yeah, so it's, and then the Warriors will be the week after that. They're doing a lot of facility rentals with us. So they will be renting either the Packard Field or the gymnasium or the beach on the 8th, the 14th, and the 15th of May. So expect to see large groups out and about. I am working with Dave on some, they do want to rent the beach this year, which is new. It'll be kind of later. My experience with them is they're a very respectful group. So we're happy to be working with them again and welcome them back into town.
Any of this can require use of a new and improved special event permit.
I don't know any of the details. I don't think so,
Okay,
because they're usually pretty self-sufficient and most of the stuff is all within either resort property or town property, so
okay,
as far as like, those things, I don't anticipate it, but the more I get the details, I'll take a look at it.
great, thank you.
That is all I have to update unless anyone has any particular questions.
Wendy, Dan,
Oh, I
anything
do,
further
I
from
do
rec?
want to thank,
Oh,
I'll
please.
publicly thank Cindy Picos for, providing the Easter Golden Egg ticket prizes, which we had to cut out of the budget, so thank you to Cindy and her efforts.
Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah. Municipal services, Dylan?
Not much of an update for you. One thing to piggyback off of from last meeting is we're able to get the contractor who had been working on the sludge pumps. It became basically cost prohibitive to have them continue to try to repair those.
Mm-hmm.
So the only real solution is to replace them at this point. Problem is the 12 to 16 week lead time. So
Yeah.
mid-June to mid-July, without any other delays, is when we can anticipate those to be installed and online. It shouldn't be an issue to get by until then. The only other thing worth mentioning, as we had our Q1 full effluent toxicity wet test last week, as if you recall, last year was a bit of an issue.
Yep,
So fingers crossed that
we passed.
Yeah.
Right.
So other than that, it's again just continued operations.
Mhm.
We're definitely into the slow phase of town right now. Flows have been low other than when we get these rain events and rapid melts where we definitely see on the wastewater end.
Yeah, the infiltration.
Yeah, yeah. Otherwise,
Right. Nothing with regard to the visit by EPA, nothing with regard to the current plant.
I was gonna touch on that in the project update. I could do it now if you like.
Yeah, just keep it with the
Sure.
current plant, just that
In
part
terms
of it.
From correspondence
Hmm.
with EPA, no. Steve and I met with our attorney today in Black and Beach to go over what the draft AOC had laid out. We have a different proposal that we're going to discuss with them before we actually give them our formal counter, if that makes sense. Because we think collectively, they're not really grasping what the issues at hand are. They're just, again, if you recall, and I'm pretty sure this is more public manner. What we proposed to them was simply just a study. What,
Right.
and they took what we characterize as a study and are trying to make us implement any findings. And the problem is Black and Beach, their standpoint is they want to make sure that not only is it feasible before they give a project schedule regarding this to EPA, we also need to find out if it is feasible, what kind, what contractors are going to be able to do it.
Mhm.
So there's a whole slew of, scheduling issues aside from even feasibility. So anyways, that's the gist of it. And we'll see what they have to say. I believe next Tuesday, at 11 a.m. is when they accepted a meeting, EPA accepted a meeting with town staff, Black and Beach, and our attorney for it.
And the study was to see if there's anything we could do to mitigate, is that the right word here?
To be better in compliance.
Better in compliance,
Yeah.
thank you. With regard to especially the, ammonia /
Ammonia nitrogen.
nitrogen, right? And we were proposing a study and they came back with, we want you to do something.
Correct.
And then we have to deal with that.
Yeah, they wanted us, everything that
Right.
was laid out as a potential topic within the study, they wanted us to incorporate into the existing facility.
Right,
So, yeah. So anyways, that's what we're gonna push back on and make sure they understand that construction schedule, construction windows are not what they are 150 miles south of here.
Mhm.
Aside from that, the contractors are certainly less plentiful. And then it all boils down to the feasibility. If it's not feasible, none of it matters,
Right.
So that's more or less where we stand, so.
what about, since they, instead of OSHA, deal with health and safety, did they say anything on the health and safety side of the?
No, so
Plant.
there was a misunderstanding on that, in that regard, the staff that showed up for EPA was just compliance and
Okay.
the individual that was listed as a health and safety, a member of the health and safety division was no longer in health and safety. They were a member of compliance now, but they didn't attend because they were out sick.
Okay.
anyhow, so it was just one member from EPA, and that was just from the compliance division of Region One, so. All in all, though, it went well. I think that's what you're trying to segue to. It went well. There wasn't anything that was like a giant surprise. I can tell you that EPA did not know anything about our facility as a whole, which I think is a larger issue, but they didn't even understand what was in it, how it operated, anything of that nature. I had to explain basically every single part of a piece of the equipment, what it did, why it was doing it. Steve Royer was on site with us during the inspection. But all in all, it was actually pretty relaxed. There really wasn't any probing into anything. So
Good.
Yeah.
All right,
I think it was more of formality than anything.
Right.
So,
but we're still waiting on coming to an agreement on the AOC.
correct. And
The
we will
bottom
be
line.
getting a
Okay.
report from them,
Right,
outlining the findings of the inspection, but I wouldn't anticipate we could see that for quite a while, so.
okay. Any questions on municipal?
No.
Hey, chief?
Just a few things, nothing major. Alicia completed and I'm not probably using the correct term correctly, veteran affairs training. So what that allows us to do, the police academy used to certify for veterans that we hire that could qualify for the GI Bill. The police academy no longer does it and they leave it up to towns, but in order to do that, you have to be certified through the Bureau of Veteran Affairs to do that. So Alicia spent some time getting certified in order to do that. It also gave us an opportunity to update and clean up a lot of our policies and training material on both sides, police and fire and EMS. Because there's certain conditions that we have to follow in order for the veterans folks to be able to certify that we've got a new employee who's a veteran and is qualified in order to qualify for those benefits, but we had to do a lot of work on our part. It's the first time we've ever done it, but I think if we ever hire a veteran, we do have somebody now in-house who's certified to do that. So it's a good thing. And it, the result of that allowed us to kind of clean up a lot of stuff on the training side as far as, our documentation and that sort of thing. So overall, it's a good thing. Reviewing site plan reviews, got a building permit application for Adventure Zone. Making sure that all the conditions set forth by the planning board are going to be met. What we talked about is I only got some plans for a building, but they're looking to start some site work. I agreed to a phased approach to the building permit. So as I get the plans, I'm going to allow them, as soon as the attorney has a chance to review the performance bond and make sure that they're happy with that, then allow them to start some site work. But before any construction starts, they're missing a few items for me for building plans. So once I'll be approving those things in phases as I get them. But for right now, nothing's been approved. We're still in the review phase. And I'm just waiting to hear back from the attorney. I think the attorney probably just got it today, so.
So how does that work or how do you anticipate it working? So you'll get a part of the building permit, and if that, I don't know, I'm just talking as a layperson here, would say for a foundation. And you could approve that before you necessarily get the rest of the, or am
Yeah,
I
so-
getting too granular?
What do I do? So I do have overall site plans, but before I can approve a building permit for construction, I need foundation plans, I need material plans, I need HVAC, sprinkler systems, all that. There's those
Right.
things that I'm missing.
Right,
I can tell them, you can go ahead and do site work, but you can't put any foundations in or start building anything
okay,
until I get this. Once I get all the things that's required, I will then give them an okay to begin construction.
Okay.
Once, and that's only for that particular piece.
Gotcha.
So I'm still waiting for, golf course, maze, aerial,
The rest of it.
the rest of it. But so
Mhm.
I anticipate, according to their timeline, is not all of that stuff has been detailed out yet.
Hmm,
So I can't approve anything that I don't see.
sure,
So as it comes to me, I'll approve it in phases as they start to operate.
okay, thank you.
Is this the normal approach? It seems
For-
kind of. I mean, when I built my house, I had to have all of the above that you mentioned
Mhm.
in place before I got a permit.
For
So
a
why is
commercial-
this different?
For a commercial project, for a large commercial project, it's not out of the ordinary. For residential, it's not typical.
I wouldn't call this a large project, but okay. It seems they
One
don't
of
have
our
their
largest
ducks in a
that
row.
we've seen.
What?
One of the largest we've seen.
I think,
It bites my tongue.
as I recall, I think the planning board plans to discuss this and other issues related to conditions on various projects at the next meeting. I think you were at the meeting, I think, when we discussed it, and they were gonna, a couple folks were gonna hook up with you, I think Rob and
Yep.
Morgan to
And
get
they
it on
have,
your, get it in your system.
no, and they have,
Great.
they've uploaded, they've, been trained up on our, records management on ESO.
Mhm.
They're in the system now, the planning board now has access to be able to upload conditions on building plans, see any of the notes and permits and that sort of thing, so. That's all available, to them now, so, we worked out the details for where to put them, so we know when there's conditions in
Right.
there and what they are.
Right, and then you can track them as
Yeah.
they develop, or in this case, we have a phased approach.
Yeah.
In the building permit, you'll be able to
Mhm.
track it. They are doing cutting, so I imagine doesn't require any, just cutting trees doesn't require anything
Done.
at all.
No. No, but we did go out there, we did talk to them, because there is, one of those conditions is the plan for cutting for the project. and-
Yeah, I think it was marking some trees or boundary. I'm trying
Yeah,
to
we
remember.
talked about it with
Yeah.
them, and it seems like it's all in line, so.
Okay.
Really no concerns there just yet, so,
Yeah, you can relay all that next week,
sure.
planning board. Good.
Yeah. A lot of questions and answers about, our operations in town, just
Mhm.
post town meeting budget stuff. I just want to put out to the public that if you have any questions about our operations, or any aspect, my door, Pat's door is always open. We're welcome to sit down with anybody. We sat down with one resident for about an hour and a half yesterday and just kind of
Mhm.
covering and answering questions. And we're happy to do so. We would certainly encourage that versus any misinformation or rumors or of how we
Sure.
operate. We would love for them to come in, and answer any of the questions that they may have and give them a little bit of insight of the details of how we operate.
I mean, certainly safe to say, I think we all worked, the board and yourself, members of your department, to really minimize any impact on from the operating budget that we do have on your operations. I think it was a question of people just not understanding how complex the system you have that you designed is, with being able to cover 365, 724 with just 8 full-time
Yep.
people, not understanding all the other bits that go along with that. So good.
Yep. And,
Yeah.
and we're more than happy to shed some light on those questions that folks have about that. So, and like I said, the door's always open. We're more than willing to talk with people and answer any questions.
Mhm.
You know, with that said, running the current numbers, we're up to 469 PD calls since January 1 and 96 fire and EMS calls.
Hmm.
That's our current number.
How's that track with previous?
It's about
Time.
online, yeah. It's about
From
online.
last year,
PD's
yeah.
up a little bit,
Mhm.
but in fire and EMS, we're just shy, probably within a dozen calls, so. I consider that pretty close,
Okay.
pretty close. Sent out, requests for participation in the Veterans Memorial Committee. If there's any interest from the board that would like to be a member. John, I meant to include you in the email, and I will make sure I forward it over to you. But for anyone else that's interested, I threw out a bunch of dates, for people to kind of chime in and, excuse me, and have our first meeting to discuss it.
Did you want a
Don't have
select
date
board?
yet. I'm just getting a consensus on. the
Okay,
meeting.
so you don't need us any sort of select board representation at this point? Just want to serve, more surveying the,
Yeah, I'm
the
just
folks.
gonna try to throw it out there, try to put what the basic idea, the vision is out and solicit some feedback of what
okay,
everybody
yeah,
else
I
thinks.
think we're familiar
And then,
with it on the board. Okay,
and the only other thing is right now Woodstock's tower's down, so we're covering, our tower's covering Woodstock, which means mostly any building fire calls in Campton is anything on that side of Campton, Woodstock covers, but we're filling in right now for mechanical issue for them, so it's been about a week. We haven't had any calls, so let's keep it that way.
yeah,
Other than that, if you have any questions.
no, Dan?
No.
No question, right? Hello,
Hello.
Megan, what's happening in Public Works? Oh, I'm sorry, before I do that, my perennial, complaint to you, I see the dumpster is still there at the, villas.
Is, and I emailed him,
I noticed
what's
that.
today?
Yeah,
Friday, again, to see, I sent him the conditions for closing out his building permit. There's some planning board landscaping things that need to get done, but obviously wants to gotta wait till all the snow's gone so they can finish that stuff up, and that was the last, and the answer I got is, we're gonna get out of there as soon as we can, so I'll follow up again. with
okay. And so will I.
him.
I appreciate the effort, Chief.
Mhm.
Thank you. Now, Megan, yeah,
Just preparing for spring/summer. Doing a few in-house housekeeping things. Going out, checking roads, especially during the rains that we're having. Checking on drainage, making sure we don't need to do any emergency repairs. Before spring and summer come into play. Just making note of what we need to do, for our work schedule moving forward. And then getting other things lined up, maintenance wise for the summer, so. Overarching.
okay. I had a couple of things, but do you guys have any questions? Should I just?
Why don't you just start?
Okay, it seems to me that the new benches that we bought really survived well this winter around Packard Field. I think we put 2 in on concrete pads. I think the idea was to see how it would go, and I think it's gone well. I haven't heard any complaints either to the board or to me personally about it not being that rustic wood. So unfortunately, I guess there's no money in the budget this year to replace some of the other benches, but I think the concept has been proved in terms of appearance and durability. So I would think, see what the board thinks, but we want to move forward with that whenever we are able to do so financially.
Only note for that, someone did call and ask if we still did the bench
Plaques.
program, where if they paid for it, if they could have their plaque on the bench.
Well, that's a good way to fund some benches.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, we could do it, certainly. Yeah, we can do it that way. The other part of it is, I think, as part of your review, if any benches are just looking like
There are a
the,
few.
yeah, just pull them up and store them where you can, until maybe it can be useful for cannibalized pieces or something. Maybe they can be easily repaired, a couple of them, but we've had them for some time now. I think you're probably gonna want to take up the benches on Boulder Path anyway.
Yep, I will be taking those up before work starts.
Yeah. Yeah, there's about a half a
To
dozen, I
include
think,
the-
on both sides.
The barrels, if
Yeah.
they don't fall apart.
Yeah, well, the barrels are not ours, right? The barrels actually belong to
I'm not sure.
the golf course, I thought.
Touch base.
Yeah, but yeah, they either need to be spruced up or removed as well, but I thought that was the agreement.
I think so, yeah,
Yeah.
because the barrel program kind of fell apart. I
It
think we
did, and
just
so
picked a
different
few things up.
people or businesses took over whatever barrels they had, so he may want to keep them. I don't want, all I'm saying is I don't want to remove them or junk them when he has plans. He may want to store them and then put them back out
Yep,
when the work's done, so just coordinate with him on those benches. Yeah, but if we can use the plaque. Yes, the program I think still exists and we can use that to fund
Yeah,
benches.
how much did each bench cost? Or I'm sure it's changed since it's been a couple of years.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll have to relook at that.
It was
Okay.
several thousand, wasn't it? I think,
Hmm.
To put your name on a bench?
no, to
No,
get
it's
the
the
new
benches
benches that like we have,
Oh.
the two we put at Packard's Field.
Okay.
And then you guys did the actual,
The concrete pad, yeah.
the concrete base for it, the pad for it,
Okay.
right? But yeah, I mean, if there's a way to continue that,
Yeah,
let's continue on. But I guess the main thing is that we all agree then that we'll move in that direction with regard to the benches
Yeah.
when we
So those
can.
not the Plastic benches.
Yeah.
yes,
Do we have a plan for auctioning off the signs that we were gonna do?
Well, I guess we were waiting to put the rest of the signs up. We were kind of holding them. But since town meeting, rejected the amendment, the warrant article to allow us to purchase the posts for the signs, we're kind of stuck. We have to figure out a way to do that, but we were just holding on the ones that were taken down till we got all of them. We don't have to, I suppose. We can auction off what we have.
Well, the question
Maybe use those to
is,
buy posts.
are they degrading along the way, just sitting around, and are they in the way?
We have them pelletized, they're indoors, so they're staying
Okay,
as well as when they went.
so in other words, holding off on doing anything isn't going to be a problem, is what you're saying.
And we already have what
Okay,
we have currently stored inventoried as well, so.
yep. I'm amenable to doing whatever you guys think.
Yeah.
Either way, we can either hold off or we can auction
I might
these
just do
or.
them. I mean, why wait another year? The idea was we would finish it this year and then auction it, but it's gonna be a couple years now.
we've just been tossing around a few ideas of what to use those funds for, so I think
Yeah.
it's just a matter of deciding what we want to use the funding. for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, let's move forward. So if you want to develop,
Is
I,
there
I
a-
did reach out to Tom Gross and he agreed to do it.
Okay.
okay,
I was saying, is there an avenue we wanna go to? But
Yeah,
perfect.
yes,
All right.
yeah.
all right,
So, if you want, the three of us could get together.
Absolutely.
It'd be
Great.
easier, and we could discuss the nuts and bolts, but again, it's just a matter of what the funding would go towards.
okay.
Um,
Well, let's get something on paper as to what we're gonna do and the amounts we're talking, and then we can see where we want to put it.
Okay,
Yeah, that's fine.
All righty. Um. Could you get rid of that pallet? That broken pallet? That's where
Yes,
people,
I will get
thank
rid
you.
of that pallet.
Thank you very much. Dumpsters, really. What are the plans for replacing the stop sign that was knocked down at the intersection of Greeley and Snows? That's a
So,
tough
the-
intersection,
yep, so we gotta wait for the
right?
ground to thaw just a little bit more.
Okay.
To pull the base out to make sure it is still pretty much intact, but I have a few spare bases. The actual post itself, I just have to cut off the end a little bit, and we have a plethora of stop signs, so we'll just replace it.
Okay, great, thank you. think, that's all I had. I mean, there are the other things. I guess we've got a hold on the placard. Is switching over. We were gonna do it this summer. Can we still go forward with it this summer?
Yes, I know Steve and I were gonna talk a little bit more about bringing it back to you to make sure we were all okay about implementing it for this, sending out the application in the second
Right.
quarter water sewer bills.
Yeah, and I guess we'll just have people just come pick them up.
Mhm.
Be the
Yep,
way we're
I-
gonna do it rather than trying to mail things out.
Yep, actually printed that, it's on my printer right now. To give you the new wordage on the application, it doesn't say, obviously, the second one is free. The replacement after, if you lose one or something happens, it's $10 each, like y'all had discussed, after the two. And then it doesn't have the ability to mail it at all on there anymore either.
All right, yeah, whenever you guys are ready.
Yep.
Maybe at one of our May meetings.
Yeah, that should work. One
Yeah,
of the
we-
first May meetings.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
first or second, just so that we can start something in the summer.
Okay,
Try to get it as much as we can this year.
sounds good.
Great. Anybody else have any questions? Or Megan, you have anything else you'd like to? Oh, I have one. Oh, go ahead.
The Mountain, Tim, did reach out to me, about the road postings for the buses. He did adjust his route based off of the road posting.
Okay, let's talk about that. We have that under new business, so
Right.
we'll come back to that. There's a couple questions there. I have one other thing. We also, the warrant article that failed with regard to the post for the new road signs also included funds for replacing the sign at the entrance.
Yep.
Just short of Triple I and Valley Road. I think the point was that's dilapidated, so should we take that down? Since we can't replace it, we can take it down. I don't want it to look, I mean, how dilapidated is it is the question.
I mean, I haven't tried to touch it at all, just been leaving it, so.
Is that in our right of way for sure?
It is,
It is.
apparently that's why we were the ones that were going to. So I understood it was our sign and our right of way.
If we take it
I
down.
could be
would
wrong.
Like to leave the posts, because if I remove the post before putting a new sign up, then I will have to go back to the state and.
No, we don't want to do that.
Permission.
But I don't want to,
So,
That's where I'm going with
right,
it, yeah.
I just don't want a
like-
grody looking sign left though there.
Right,
Why don't we just do a quick inspection of it? I remember when we looked at it a couple of years ago, it wasn't too bad,
Right,
but that was 2.5 years ago, so who knows?
yeah,
yeah, let's just look at it again. I'm not pushing to have it taken down, but if it's gonna look poorly over time, I mean, it's
Yeah, or fall apart.
a fall apart, we might, as well- we'll just leave the post there. Maybe we can attach something else to the post. I don't
That's
know.
the freestyle skiing.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Maybe a little fresh coat of paint or something would help it.
Some duct tape and
But-
paint. over
duct
it.
tape and paint.
well, I like duct tape, don't tip me, duct tape fixes everything, so.
Yeah, let's inspect it and see what we
Yeah.
have since the amendment failed for us to replace it, so. Okay, great. That's all I had. Anything else to?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I had one other thing,
Maybe,
yeah, what's status of the dam?
We will fix it in the summer. As of right now. I can't bring any equipment down there. At least trucks because of the weight and I don't wanna ruin our new pavement that's right there. So I just have to wait for mud season to be over.
Okay, have we pulled out any of the blocks that were left in there that resulted in the,
I did not
issue to
because
start
of
with?
the half of it activated.
Okay.
It's letting out enough water where we won't have a other side activation. But I.
okay, so we're not worried about
I'm not.
the snow and the ice melting right now?
Nope.
Okay, and causing further
Hmm.
problems.
That pond's gonna be pretty low for a couple months then.
It will be, yes.
Okay,
Speaking of the pond, I mean, we did have a maintenance item that I pushed off slightly where we have to seal and repair the cracks that are in the dam. So
Cracks in the dam?
Yeah.
Better explain that, otherwise people are gonna be
Um,
wondering like cracks in the dam.
yeah, there was a one portion of which that was repaired initially. We just need to reseal that, and then there's a few smaller, I say, it's not structural. At this time, but it was noted in the inspection that they had to be repaired.
Okay,
And they did give me a material recommendation, of which to use to
so
fix it.
this is PM, preventative maintenance. It's
It
not it's not a safety issue.
No.
Okay,
So the possibility of me having to, 'cause it has to be pretty dry,
Mhm.
pulling a lot of blocks is a possibility. So.
Okay.
Just wanted to figure out and get the board's opinion and Brooke's opinion, because I know it really affects her on when an okay ideal time, whether that be now and pull all the blocks. And then that
Right.
way it becomes dry, and then we can do it before we repair the dam, the flashboards. But I don't know how your voting schedule looks.
In the last several years, we've been opening our boats early for that particular group. This year, we're not doing that.
Okay.
So we now, opening day is the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend.
Okay.
That's our only limitation. Aside from putting the boats on the water, at least a couple of days before that, so,
Well, and having enough water for
well,
Or the, and it
fish.
fills up pretty,
Are,
well, yeah, I
are you
mean,
sticking
I'm
with the
just
same
speaking
schedule
to
for
the-
fish? I mean, I know
oh, the fish.
maybe the derby isn't
Yeah, the
happening, but
derby's
it's the
that
same.
weekend, but yeah, the fish get dumped the week before or only a few days now.
so only that thing filled up,
I would say the week before.
Usually a week before, but
so we're talking mid-ish April,
Friday, the 20th,
I mean, May.
20th or 21st.
All right. Well, by the third week of May, we need, are you looking at that as part of your schedule? For it to be, the repairs made and we can fill it up to the appropriate level?
yeah, versus filling it, using it for some time and then having to drain it again.
Right, no.
So,
Actually, this year, sorry, my apologies, it's actually, we would have to have it all done by the 15th May. Because Memorial Day weekend is early this year. I was thinking it was
The very last,
the last weekend, but it's not, it's the 23rd weekend is where
Hmm.
we'll be opening, so we need it a week prior to that. So it's gonna be tight.
definitely would be tight.
Is it better to look at the fall for that type of whatever repair?
well, for the board repair, we need to,
No, the boards, of
But
course.
the other- you're talking
but
about the other.
The dam.
History, and get rid of leeches too. Some big.
those little suckers will hang out.
Yeah, they go down.
Yes.
All right, well, you guys, why don't you see, coordinate and just
I'll-
let us know at the next meeting what the plan is with regard to timing to make it work, to do the repair to the board so we can fill it up again and these other
Small PM.
small PM type repairs that need to be done before they get to be a major repair / issue. So why don't we just put that on the agenda for
Got it.
for the next meeting?
Somebody has a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Cindy.
Am I allowed to ask a question?
I don't know. Do we want Cindy that? I guess so. Sure.
Whatever burnt out down at the dam, that's burnt out a few times for the
The
aerator,
de-icer.
de-icer.
Yeah.
Has that been discussed with the resort as far as fixing it, them paying for it?
We have raised it quite a while ago in discussions we had with regard to the easement they have for water rights and how the board wanted to have a maintenance and use agreement that would include damage to town property. We're still in those discussions. We didn't come to any agreement with them on it. In my opinion, there wasn't a lot of give there on their part, since they saw it more as a problem for us, if I'm remembering correctly, not purchasing the right equipment or that would avoid that completely because of their operations or not having procedures in place that would avoid it. So we kind of left the discussions there. We haven't really re-engaged. The hope was as well that the issue of coordinating better, and that's something we need to look at. I think the board would like a report about coordinating their use of the water for snowmaking this last winter, what went right, what went wrong, what can we do to improve both on our end and any coordination with them. So I'm circling around here, but the answer is we've not replaced the aerator. I think we still have a damaged aerator and it was not needed this winter, right? Because we were keeping it.
We were supposed to be, the coordination was supposed to happen to be able to fluctuate the levels in a way that we would not need the aerator.
Right, and we didn't.
It did not happen.
We did not need it, but we still have a damaged one, so.
I was under the impression and the understanding that there was a lot of miscommunication between the town and the resort with regards to that. Is that true?
For the aerator,
Yes.
well, in the past, I mean, not this year, but the previous years, that was part of the issue. And we, in coordination with or in agreement with the resort, we came up with a plan to avoid future damage and maybe not even needing an aerator. And that's what we enacted for this season, and that we're waiting to hear how things worked. So I think whenever you guys are ready to provide us with a report of how all that worked, we'll be glad to review that.
Thank you.
The idea was to reestablish broken communications between
Mm-hmm,
our DPW
mm-hmm,
and the
Mhm.
mountain and the resort.
yeah, and it seemed to work up until the very end.
So I'm not sure where that broke down.
Yeah. We'll be reviewing, yeah. Okay, anything else for Public Works?
No,
Dan,
thank you.
Wendy, Megan?
It's, it's a sign of spring, but dumpster clips are going back on dumpsters.
They are out, yeah. So, been hearing the horror stories in other towns, they're starting to come out. Our friends are out and about, huh?
Well, we've been seeing here too, right?
Have they? Have we seen bears in town?
We've seen their,
That's what's-
Scat,
Activity.
they are here. Yeah. Okay, and they're hungry.
yeah, bird feeders and locking the dumpsters.
Yeah.
Best thing that we can do. Their food sources are very limited right now, so they're looking for any opportunity that they can.
Sure. Okey-doke. And we got our new year to try out these new devices that work everywhere in the valley except at my house.
Yes.
The, I want to say, digesters, right?
Yes,
They're the digesters.
Yes,
They're not,
exactly. Not composters.
not
per se,
composters,
And
right?
not meant to be bear Kong toys, so.
Right.
yes.
I think the idea there was to see, give it some time, see if they worked, and then
Yes.
the town would front a purchase so that people can buy them at a discount price.
Exactly.
So I guess MSW, you guys and MSW is still,
We've been looking.
it's
at
on
that,
your agenda.
and
Okay,
Yes, looking at where the budget stands, although, it was a relatively small budget item, so hopefully we still have a little wiggle room for that.
okay, great. All right. Thank you, Megan. Administrative services?
Yep, so next week, we're planning to get out the Q1 water and sewer bills, so should have a warrant to present to you in the middle of the week next week. I might just be texting you to come in if you wouldn't mind doing so.
Sure.
Also, there's been a little delay in the 2025 ratio study. We typically.
Oh, really? The state hasn't
Well, we-
coughed it up yet?
The problem, as I understand it, is our DRA, the Department of Revenue Association, had released a new sales portal, and Whitney Consultants, our assessing
Yeah,
company, has been having some difficulties with it.
Hmm.
Not a surprise, but
new and improved.
yeah, so they have, the latest is that they've resolved the technical issues that they were having, and they should be seeing the equalization rate within the next week or so, which I'd like to
Yeah.
share with you as well.
Yeah,
And just so everyone's aware, what the equalization ratio is it's a comparison versus what your homes and businesses assessed value is compared to what the fair market value is. So not so much last year, but if you all recall, the prior 3 or 4 years, those ratios have been all over the place, which has caused the town to do either full revaluations or statistical revaluations. We're hopeful that won't be the case.
We were close though, last year, right? We
I
were,
think it came in at 92,
right,
and that's a 90 to a 110
right,
threshold.
right,
if I
but
recall.
92 is close to 90.
Yeah, so
So prices have gone up
yeah,
for market value. We could be just on the wrong side of that number.
let's hope not.
Let's hope not, because
Yeah.
then we'd have to do presumably a statistical,
Statistical review.
right? Because when we do the last full 22,
I believe so. 2022 was the
So-
full.
we're looking at 20 next year as potentially the next time to do a.
Well, I need to check
Full?
with the assessors because in
Okay.
24 we did a statistical.
So does that lengthen it maybe?
I'm hoping.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay,
So just there's those two pieces for you. So if that data comes back next week, I may ask you to also sign another form that we'll need executed as well. I'll try to
Okay.
combine those two on the same date.
and then we can have that on the agenda for next meeting if
Yes.
you've got
On the 15th.
on the, I think 15th, yeah, 2 weeks from today.
Yep.
Then we can talk about it in more detail. Yeah, a lot of, imagine be a lot of interest in that.
14th,
15th, today's the first, so.
okay, on
Oh,
our
we have a
agenda, it
14th,
says
Oh.
14th.
So that might be a typo.
should be the 15th, right?
Okay.
That's an April Fool's joke, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, catching that. So, yeah. Good. Do we have anything, since we're putting out a mailing and it's water, sewer, trash, is there anything else we want to communicate? Since we're spending the money and we're trying, keep our mailings down.
Postage low.
Rates if you want to.
At the rec department or new rec department rates? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, why not? I mean, we're gonna mail it anyway, right?
Piece of paper. Is it?
One piece
I
of
think we
paper.
can get one in, yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
So if you want to print out, if you want to create something for us, Brooke, we can get it printed.
Me too.
yeah, no, that'd be a good thing. Anything else you guys can think of in admin services?
Nothing that comes to mind.
It's an opportunity to talk to people,
Right,
right?
okay.
When were the placards gonna be implemented?
Q2
You do.
with the Q2 bills, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we would want to include it, I think, with the coordinated, so it goes out in that mailing and then.
Yeah.
And then we implement it, right? So that'd be the next mailing, yeah.
Yes.
Anything else you think of? Yeah, so that's a very good suggestion, Brooke, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Sure.
throw that in there. If you can think of anything else, just let us know and just go ahead and do it.
Okay, yeah, we'll think about it. That's all I have.
That's all you got? All right. Let us now move on to, let's see what else I have here. Okay, new business. So I guess we're gonna wait until 4:30 for the community power update.
4:30, Kim and Emily will be here.
All right, we'll wait until then. Let's talk about the bond sale in July.
Yeah, so just, I was hoping just to have a preliminary discussion and maybe talk a little more in detail at our next meeting with
Mhm.
respect to what we're truly looking at in terms of bonding this year.
Mm-hmm.
So the application is due at the end of April for the New Hampshire Municipal Bond Bank's July sale.
Right.
So a couple of knowns that we're going to need to bond for this year. One being the $645,000 for the fire truck
Right.
that we're hoping, do you have an update date on the delivery date for that? Is that July, or August?
Right now, it's gonna be June, July. As far as I know. They sent a picture last week, they posted on their social media, I think they shared it on ours, but. That's the last. Word that I know, so I'll probably have a much more concrete date as the month goes on.
Okay.
Yes,
Are we selling the other one? The old one? Or do we have anybody lined up to buy that from us?
not. Not at this time, we're gonna hold on to it just for a little bit because we have some body work that needs to get done on engine one first. So we're gonna keep it in its place while that goes out and gets some body work done, and then once we get that one back, then, we'll do what we were gonna do with the ambulances,
Yep.
post it on a third-party website for sale.
Okay. Thank you.
As far as road money goes, you'll see later in the agenda that you have a notice of award, couple of notice of awards.
Yep.
As I understand it, we had a coordination call with HEB, Bill Dower, Megan, Dylan, myself. The plan would be to start below with Boulder Path this year and work up Snows Mountain next year. So we have
Okay.
already bonded for the 1.8-ish million for the Boulder Path project. I would like to bond a little extra for that project this year, just as a buffer in case they run into change orders later in the year and we
No,
need
we
to
never have any change orders.
make a modification. So I'm thinking
Yeah,
maybe
that makes sense.
maybe a $500,000 more in road money this year to make sure that that first phase of the project goes and gets
Smoothly,
completed.
right, on Boulder Path, yeah, and set it up for snows.
Right.
Yeah.
Megan has and is going to reach out to Piper to kind of get a schedule of payments as they see it right now through the end of the year to make sure that $500,000 coincides with what they're thinking. As well as she will be providing me shortly with what she thinks in terms of engineering money will be needed for both Valley Road, Lost Pass, Cascade, and Bean Bender, as we
All
have
the others, yeah,
just about $411,000 authorized at town meeting this year
for all
for
those,
those
right?
projects. But that's from what I talked to Megan initially about is looking like later in the year. So potentially we won't need to draw that
In
all
July.
that 400 in July and maybe some in January. And then outside of that, I'm really just waiting on Dylan and the engineers to kind of give me a synopsis of what they feel as though we'll need for funding to repair any issues at the existing facility. So just for clarification, any repairs made to the existing facility, we're going to have to go and bond for. That is non-reimbursable to us. We
Right.
had a $5 million authorization in 22.
Yeah,
And we've taken 1.5 of that 5 million. We have 3.5 left.
right, so we'd be pulling from that, not from the 26, right?
Correct.
Cause it was written as 26 in here. From the 26 town meeting, so it'd be from the 22 town meeting.
From the 22 town meeting authorization, correct? Yep.
Can I ask a question?
Mhm.
With respect to all the other roads and stuff, the engineering work. You're talking about not getting any money until January? Isn't that a little bit late?
Well, it all has to coincide with what our engineers' availabilities are to come out and do the work. So that's what
Well-
Megan is trying to investigate right now.
Nobody's gonna do any work next January. And next spring, if we need to put a warrant out that says that we need X dollars to rebuild. I'll just use Cascade Ridge because I live on that road. Cascade Ridge Road. We won't have the information we need to do that. In time. Right?
Sure. I don't know if I'm exactly following you. Megan, so we're under contract right now for pretty much all of those roads?
For Cascade, Lost Pass,
Yeah.
Bean Bender, and the Valley Road.
Mhm.
There has been some work done initially already,
I'm aware of that.
so at least for the Valley Road one, there might be work that needs to happen, but sub 100,000 for Valley Road, because their schedule, most of it is 2027, with construction for Valley happening in 2028. For, not Cascade, for Valley, for Cascade, Bean Bender,
Lost Pass.
Lost Pass. I don't know about Lost Pass, I need to touch base with that one, but I know Cascade Ridge and Bean Bender, there was stuff that they thought they were gonna need that we don't actually need anymore. But like Steve said, I'm doing some investigation of what the possible payments and what work would be done this year.
Okay, well, we can't get to next year and not have a means of of doing anything about these roads. These roads are a mess.
Specifically, really the only one that would most likely not have work done would be Valley Road, and that wouldn't be until 2027. I
Twenty
have,
twenty-eight, you mean?
the engineering work wouldn't be done until 2027. The actual construction would be 2028,
Right.
so.
But the current plan, as I understand it, is for at least Cascade Ridge and Bean Bender, and I believe Lost Pass.
Mhm.
That
Yep,
work
and
to be
I just
done
have
in
to-
27, which means that we have to have everything we need
Yes
beforehand,
and
so all the engineering has to
no.
be done.
I think that was one of the questions, at least in my mind. We're gonna have Snows Mountain going on in 27 as well.
Yep.
I think we had talked about, wow, we
Well,
would
we
be able to
already-
do all these projects in 27.
Yeah.
It was an open question. We just said, let's get the engineering done so we can figure out
Yeah.
what we need to do and what kind of schedule we're gonna be on.
Well, some of these roads are getting to the point of being almost
know.
impassable.
We need to do it,
Okay.
we'll need to do
And we
it.
can't just keep kicking the can down the road. That's not gonna work.
Well, I don't think this is, I don't see this as kicking the can down the road. I see this as coordinating the different roads we need to do, and I'd be very
With,
difficult.
with
I
the
think, trying to
support
do.
that we have and the contracts that we're under, we need to be,
Right,
Yeah.
I mean, doing 5 roads in one next year.
Well, there is more than one contractor in the state of New Hampshire. Okay,
Yeah,
so
no.
not everything has to go to the same contractor to do all of these roads.
No, I agree with that. I think the idea was, let's get the engineering done so we can figure out how to fit the schedule as best possible. If we can get anything done besides snows in 27, if it's approved at town meeting, I'm not
I just-
against it.
It just sounds like we're not gonna get the money to pay for the engineering until January.
Okay, well, that's a different question.
You have to wait on the answer to see what the payment schedule would be. Their HEB has been pretty good with us about working on, because they understand that,
Yeah.
the bond schedules and things like that, so they're pretty flexible payment wise most of the time. But we're just waiting on an answer of when that their scheduled payments will be and how much we would actually need to bond for
But
instead of bonding for the whole amount.
so it sounds like we just need to wait for Megan to talk to HEB, get the amounts, and then at our next meeting would be able to add for engineering.
Right,
Right.
well,
We
you
gotta
have a
continue.
date though, you need to get it.
Right, by
so
the
my
by the
goal,
30th,
my goal
Yeah.
here, right, is we have a lot of money authorized.
right,
Right, we had 4.5 authorized in road money this year. We've got a fire truck we need to bond for, we've got some engineering money, so my goal is to make sure as we go into our budget for 2027, we're being as conscientious as possible with respect to what our debt service does.
of course.
If we all remember what happened to our debt service this year,
Of
right, it
course.
elevated total debt service payments by $290,000 and put us over $1 million in debt service
Right,
payments for the year of 2026. And if we can be more strategic about what we bond in July to, reduce what that will do to our operating budget this year, I want to work collectively to do that. So this again is a preliminary application that I put forward. I'm hoping to have a finalized application to share with you at our meeting in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
That gives you some more hard numbers, but as I'm
Right.
looking at it right now, a rough estimate about $2.2 million in bonding for the July sale. And if you recall, last year we bonded 2.65 at an interest rate of 3.94, and that's what the impact to our debt service was $290,000. So I'm hoping, I know that the January sale through the New Hampshire Municipal Bond Bank came in sub 3.5. So I'm hoping the trend is our friend and it's continuing
For
to,
July,
yeah,
right,
to come down for July and see how it all pans
All right.
out.
Okay,
okay.
Go ahead there.
All right, so that's another agenda item for next meeting.
Yes, sir.
Come back on the bond sale side. Okay, I think we're still waiting on Kim, right?
Yeah.
You are Emily, right, I figured, but we're just waiting for Kim, and then we can move to the community power update.
When you're ready,
Okay.
sure.
I think she said, what, 4:30?
4:30.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, let's move on to the, yep, the resort, the shuttle services.
So included in your packet, I provided you just another copy of the contract that we were planning on signing and executing with the resort this year for the transit services. Along with another map that Megan had provided me that outlines what the revised transit or shuttle route is now that we've posted the roads. So a couple of things to discuss on this under this topic.
Okay. So we've heard anything officially? I mean, I've heard a couple of things through people with regard to the shuttle and what the plans are. Now that the town is not participating.
Yeah, I have
Not
not heard
contributing, I
directly
should
from
say.
the result to see what the impact is. I have, as you have, heard some rumblings about potentially just servicing the
The lodges and maybe, a couple other places, town square, conference center, that sort of thing.
but just through word of mouth, nothing directly from the resort.
Okay.
Have you reached out to them?
Not yet.
Okay,
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
try to straighten this out,
yes.
or at least
Be-
figure
because
out
there's
what
a-
the plan is.
There's a 14-day timeline in here.
tell
We're
'em.
notifying them.
Right.
So, I mean, I
We
know-
have to do that anyway.
They were notified. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know, but I mean, technically,
We should.
I need to have a
Officially.
technicality trip us up.
All right.
and
So
it's
yes,
in
we should
writing-
notify them by,
In writing, by,
in writing.
by a week ago.
Well, town meeting really didn't decide not to fund. It
True,
was really
good
our
point.
meeting on, what was it now, when we finally voted out a budget.
Last week.
That's true.
20th.
So to me, I'm not a lawyer, but it seems to me that's when the 14
Valid
day
point,
Yeah.
Sure.
began.
But still, we're getting towards the end. of
Yeah,
it.
we should get that
Yeah,
letter out
yeah,
as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Or written, it doesn't have to be a letter, I suppose, it could be
just,
and-
you
and
know,
It should-
something in writing
It
that.
should be an official letter.
Yeah,
From the
and-
town.
And actually, that's the letter you could use to ask for a meeting with the resort to discuss the future plans they have for the shuttle. And the stops that they're planning to either eliminate this year or not, whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
So you can ask that officially and that, and then perhaps we can talk about it in more detail at our next meeting if they're
Yeah,
prepared to
perfect.
talk about it.
Sure.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, that makes sense. We
That's
have
fine.
to discuss that.
I have noticed they did take down most of their resort bus stop signs. There are a few left up. So,
They take down most, it looks like they changed out a bunch, made them, got some newer ones up.
I've not traveled today to look, but when I traveled around yesterday, most of them were down. With the exception of a few that they changed out to a different look.
Okay, so they may have already decided what stops they're going to service.
Don't they still have to come before the board and inform us of that? Or not? I mean, that's what you had said.
Well, it was if they were going to establish any new stops.
Well, they're changing stops.
If they're or changing the location of a stop.
Yeah, one of which, so in that packet as well, I believe has did you only do the posted road in the winter one, or was it both sheets?
Both pieces.
It
Yeah,
has the 2025 and then the.
right. You had passed it out in writing, but I think you had mentioned there were 2 stops that had changed last time we talked about this.
The intersection of Overpath and Valley, further down on the speed
Right.
limit sign by the 8th fairway,
Right,
on Snowbrook
Right.
side. So I removed that one, since you had not agreed
right.
to have it moved there.
They have that sign now up on the directional sign at the corner of Boulder and Valley.
Okay, so I had removed the other one,
That was further down on
Snowsbrook.
Snowsbrook, right?
so, 'cause it hadn't.
And that was the original, was there a stop there?
No, that was moved, which you can see in the 2025, which
Yeah.
was the agreement we signed. That's from the agreement that we signed, that picture. So that's why I removed it, because it had moved from the corner of Boulder Path Valley down further in front of the 8th fairway on Snowsbrook.
Right, so that's just put back to its original spot.
I
The sign is up at the
Okay.
corner of Boulder and Valley. Right, and the other one was Osceola, they were going further down in Osceola.
Yep, so they're moving, I haven't seen them down there as of late. But instead of stopping at where we have our
The old
now parking
turnaround,
signs, the old turnaround.
right,
It moved to basically in front of the dumpster area is where they were stopping. The larger turnaround that we
Right.
had made for snow removal.
Right.
Um,
is there a
there's
sign
no
there now
signs up there, that's just kind of where they're stopping.
and
I don't
turning
know if
around?
it was an old thing between High Country and the resort or not. But since we have taken it over, I wanted to make sure.
Maybe
that-
they turned around just before High Country
Yeah, I'm not
in the
sure.
turnaround, I don't know.
So,
that
but I
might-
wanted to at least bring that one to your attention as
Right.
well.
So there are a number of issues here. Chief, has anybody from the
It
resort
is-
talked to you?
They haven't reached out. It is a much safer play to turn a bus around than it
At the
is
very
on
end?
Gray Lane.
Yeah, no, we're fine with
Yeah.
whatever
Um,
is the better place
but
in any of these signs.
The resort did reach out about the load limit in the buses, and I
Right.
directed them toward Megan, and I believe there's a modified
Yeah.
plan now. That's gonna avoid the posted roads.
Mhm.
And I think that's the correct direction is, once we have a conversation about the whole
Yeah,
bus, we can hammer out the details.
all the details at that point.
Yeah, I think that's the
Yeah.
most appropriate.
I don't recall, does the bus go on a hiatus here for, at least as far as going around town?
It usually does.
Yeah, until like Memorial Day
Memorial Day.
weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
and then
it's not
yeah.
yeah, just, so it's an opportunity for us to get together with them and kind of arrange things.
Tidy things up.
Yeah, yeah, for the summer schedule and
you know,
winter.
with the funding and the different transportation plan, I think that's a
All right,
thing moving forward when they start up again.
all
And we
right,
Have an agreement in place that we all know where all the stops are going to be.
right. Well, and then you
what
guys-
Versus where they're not going to be.
Right.
And,
Yeah, and, you know, we can have our input there on
Yeah.
the not, but, you know, whatever I think DPS and DPW find is the best place for whatever stops remain.
Sure.
Makes sense, right?
yeah.
All right, so as part of this letter, perhaps notifying with the 14-day time limit that we will not be contributing to the 2026 schedule. Offer up a meeting
Mhm.
at their convenience sometime within the next month.
Yep.
Maybe,
Mhm.
at least before Memorial Day, so we can pull things together.
Sure.
Hi, yes,
When
hi.
does the current contract expire?
Well, we changed it. Remember, it expired at the end of last year.
At the end of last year.
We changed
Yeah.
it, yeah.
So technically, if we're advising them that we are no longer contributing to
Mhm.
this,
The cost, right.
they could very well say it's none of your business where we put our stops,
As long as they're not in town right of ways.
as long as they're not in town.
Yeah, no, yeah, if it's on private property or.
Yep.
Yeah. But I think the majority of them are in the town right away, as I recall.
Yeah.
But
The
you're right,
non- the
absolutely right.
non-lodge- Yeah, the non-lodge and non-resort owned
Yeah.
properties are.
Yeah, and maybe
Largely.
that issue goes away to a large extent, but I imagine they're gonna wanna have some on some of the town right of ways, yeah. But it's a good point, Margaret. All right. Is there anything else we wanted to say about shuttle services?
Okay.
Good. All right. Okay, still wait for Kim. Let's move on to old business. Oh.
Have other new business.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the.
Oh, you wanna do okay, yeah, let's do it now. That's right. I
Is
forgot
that okay?
again.
Under
Yeah, no,
business?
I,
Yeah.
whatever. Yep, it
Okay.
works for me.
All right. So the municipal solid waste working group has been going through
Mhm.
as directed with their options, and with the Bethlehem landfill closing about a year from now, our options are incredibly limited and much more expensive for us to continue on with our current mode of collection and disposal. So, you know, our main two options, once Bethlehem closes, are to either go to Rochester, which is more than twice the distance, or to work with Witcher for collection, which is almost triple the cost per ton.
Is that what it is? I know it was more
Yeah,
expensive.
it's
Triple?
quite a bit more, yeah, almost triple.
Mm.
So what the working group has recommended is that we look at making our current transfer station a more central station and have everyone bring trash to the transfer station, as we find in many other municipalities. The idea, this is just, an initial kind of,
Yeah, and just a
Thought-
caveat
yeah.
that AI is generated, so I couldn't get it perfect for what we needed, so.
yeah, so I don't know, Megan, do you want to speak to how this would work for the flow?
So at least for inside of the transfer station, in the meantime, until obviously construction starts with the wastewater building, it would be same gate that they would enter, and it would be a full ramp basically right in the middle. You'd drive up it. You'd have the compactor on one side of the ramp, and then the two open tops on the other, again, AI generated. Hey, it did its best, okay?
It's fine, it's understandable. Yeah.
And so people it would be wide enough to have two lanes and fit small cars, 3 on the flat spot or 2 trucks on the flat spot up at the top where you would throw your trash or C&D or metal, whatever away. We're thinking obviously the ramp and then having kind of at level or maybe just a little bit below what the containers would be. So it was easier to throw trash away versus trying to lop it up
Mhm.
about 5 feet. And then they would drive down and out. If we had to go to a one-way entrance, it would roughly stay pretty much the same. They would come up, enter through whichever side we deemed at the time that construction started, drive down the ramp, drive around and go back out. There would be
Just one entrance
one entrance.
If that was needed with the
If-
construction.
because of the
Yeah,
construction,
yeah.
right?
But overall layout in there, we walked it, drew it out on the floor. Everything fits within the footprint that we have out there.
And so that's what the reality could look like. And I had given you both
Mhm.
the numerical breakdown. The first page kind of comparing what we have right now.
Mhm.
And this annual cost, of course, there's a variable of exactly how much truck repairs would be, and there are variables in both of these scenarios. But on the second page shows again, so the way it would work is the town would need to rent 2 compactors. One would be on site and would fill up, and once that's full, it'd be pulled and the empty one would be put in its place. So there'd be a constant
Rotation.
rotation of the 2.
Mhm.
So what we're seeing here is just one compactor at a time. Because that's. how
So
it
they
works.
take the entire
the full one.
compactor
Yep.
away?
Exactly,
Wow.
yes,
okay.
so we wouldn't have to have a CDL driver, we would be able to have more staff. Present at the
have to
transfer
increase-
station, we would have increased facility hours,
What about the truck need?
we wouldn't
Need it?
need the truck, but the big caveat here, of course, is what would happen with the impact on the commercials.
Right.
It. And that's very much up for discussion and very much why the tonnage, the disposal costs that I'd used, looking at the tonnage with the proposal. Does include the current tonnage that could decrease if the commercials decide they're not able to bring trash to here, to the transfer station. There's certainly a lot of different aspects to discuss on that as far as what the expense could be. An interesting thing that I found when I was,
And tonnage will definitely still go down, even if they brought their trash here. Because we find a lot in town where there's C&D or things that aren't really supposed to be in dumpsters. In dumpsters that go into the back of the truck, sometimes we
Mhm.
can't see it, sometimes we do take it out, but most of the time we don't see it. So having eyes on it 24/7 would also still reduce our tonnage.
Very good point.
Are
Thank
you, are
you.
you saying, just one quick question
Yeah.
at this point, that you'll move everything to the transfer station?
That's the
That-
proposal.
Right, so that you
No,
wouldn't need
no
to-
condos,
no
no
con-
commercial.
no dumpsters
No
around town.
dumpsters. Because at this point, if you think about it, we have 72 dumpsters spread around the
Mhm.
valley. They have to be replaced every, 5 to 10 years, 7 years
Yeah.
as an average.
Right,
At $2,500 a pop today, that's
Right.
only gonna increase. The numbers of dumpsters are only gonna increase. And we have, as Dan, your single point failure, as you've said, with the truck.
Right.
And even if we get a brand new truck and it's working really well, it's only a matter of time before
It's
we have
unsustainable
troubles again. It's,
Mhm.
with a
it
single
really
truck
is.
doing that. It
It
really is.
And
So we have to do something.
and the expense of two trucks, and we just, as a group, we were looking around at what other municipalities do, and really no other town this size, or even double or triple our size, offers this type of service.
Right.
It's just, it's untenable, especially with Bethlehem closing,
Can I ask a quick question?
of course.
Do we feel like, maybe I'm not factoring in something here, but when you look at that 10-year replacement approximation?
Yeah.
At 580?
Yeah.
That's just taking into consideration one new truck, right?
Yes.
In 10 years, Yes.
Yes, exactly.
so that seems,
It could be,
yeah, no, right,
that's ideally the trucks will last 10 years, but we've seen what's happened with this truck.
Yeah.
And
okay,
no, you're right.
Yes.
It's very much an
right,
optimistic
those
view.
prices are only going one way
Exactly.
anyway, so.
Yes, and I did round off to the 400,000 where, it might
Right.
be a little bit under that.
A little bit more.
Yeah,
And just to put it out there, the towns that do have curbside pickup or the towns that offer to pick up your trash, it's not owned by the town, it's owned by entities like Casella or
Mhm.
Waste
Yeah,
Management.
private contracts,
So-
right,
It's out there for people to understand.
Yes.
my town
Okay.
has I have a pickup service at my house, but it's just a private guy that brings
Sure.
it to the transfer station.
Right.
yeah, that's how
And
most
that's
people do
certainly
it.
a possibility, with the commercials, perhaps we could be seeing a start of a new business in town
Yeah.
where someone would want to pick up trash from, I don't know.
Man, sure could charge a lot.
I'd say 150
Sounds
a
like
Less than
quarter.
Witcher,
Yeah.
Business insurance.
less than Witcher, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, there are a lot of different details to work out, but this is the broad strokes of what we're thinking. And then, of course, the next thing to consider is the timing. With Bethlehem closing in April, that doesn't necessarily give us a construction season beforehand.
Mhm.
And well, after town meeting and before the closure. So in speaking with Megan about it, you feel like there could be a way forward?
There could be a few different ways.
Mm-hmm,
Each one is going to have a increased cost for the initial part of the year. For us to do, one of which we could do like we were doing when the truck broke down, we can have an open top. But instead of going to the landfill, we can, this is not my ideal, but we could do it. Empty the truck onto the pavement, use our machinery to pick it up, put it into the open top. And have the open top pulled in the meantime, because they'll just pull it, doesn't, and they'll take it wherever.
right,
they
and we
pick
just
up.
pay for that, right.
I'm sorry, let me introduce it. Apologies. I had made a note on here, but it's not shown on the drawing. There would need to be a pole barn to protect. So we're not paying to throw away snow and electricity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I kept wanting to like bring it really close to that stuff, so I just
Yeah.
stopped with that.
No, no worries.
Another option would be Witcher, obviously that's gonna be 3 times more expensive to go to Witcher, it would save the most, I mean, if we were to use.
When
the
you
truck-
say 3 times, is that
You're going-
servicing everybody we service
Yeah.
now? What if we were only servicing the residentials? Would that cost be different?
Tonnage,
The tonnage would be
tonnage would
much
still be the
less.
same as far as cost
The
wise.
price per ton. would be the
Price
same,
per
but-
ton.
Price per
That's the
ton,
thing.
but if they're not part of, again, we're not required by state law to
That's-
provide it, so if we were to go to Witchit as a
As a
interim.
Band-Aid, yeah,
As, until we get it, we could just do the residentials.
that's a good.
I see
point,
it,
yeah.
Cindy, don't worry, I haven't
Okay,
forgotten.
sorry.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get through the three options.
Yeah.
So that's another kind of issue.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's getting back to the whole issue of servicing the commercial entities.
And then the other option, which is not well liked within the department, is driving all the way to Rochester, because that's a whole day. They'll leave at.
Yeah,
8
yeah, no,
a.m.
I
and they
mean,
won't be back
that we're
till
trying to avoid
3:30.
that
Yeah,
So,
completely. I mean,
Yeah.
we're trying to come up with it. We knew this day was coming.
Yeah.
We were hoping we get more out of Bethlehem, but
well, or out of the Pemmy Baker Solid Waste Group, I mean.
Yeah, and there was
19
nothing there.
towns that, it seems like the other 18 have their heads in the sand, I
Yeah.
don't know, not to just.
yeah, and we have
True,
explored
but-
this in the past with, what was it, Wind Waste down in
Wind Waste,
Concord?
yeah.
But the problem there is that we didn't, we don't, separate
Yeah.
our trash and would be fined to high heaven because a lot of stuff in there they would not accept,
Yeah.
so. Yes, Cindy, you had your hand up.
With this, would the condos have to come down here?
Yes,
So everybody
There'd
would
be
be
no
like
dumpsters.
we are.
Yeah, there's.
Everybody-
responsible
Exactly.
for
Correct.
bringing it down
Yes.
here.
correct. And that would mean more days, more extensive hours.
But
For
in
the
long
transfer
run, you're
station.
saving because you're losing that factor. And question I have, could we do recycling and maybe ask Plymouth to partake in this?
Well, the thought of the group is that this would be the first step in kind of changing habits and encouraging, well, making everyone come to the transfer
Mhm.
station would be the first step in that. And then, yes, the second step would be doing some recycling of some sort. We've looked at single stream as an option and even looking at pay per throw. That's, perhaps a bit more radical, but there are different ways
Other towns do
to,
that.
yeah, there are
Mhm.
different. At this point, 34 other municipalities in New Hampshire do the pay as you throw. And most of them also with that report a reduction in tonnage.
Sure.
So there are definitely different ways, but it seems like the first kind of step is to retrain everyone to have to come to the transfer
Okay.
station. So that's where we're looking at this initially, but yes, definitely recycling.
Yeah.
Definitely, encouraging the green cone usage or perhaps other composting to get food waste out.
to answer the question about coordinating with other towns.
Yeah.
We can try and coordinate just like Pemmy Baker would, the Pemmy Baker is trying to coordinate, going to somebody else and things, a bunch of different things are happening, but they are trying to find the best avenue, but also get us the best, tonnage rate to get rid of trash. But you cannot, unless it's through an entity like that, we can't go to Plymouth or Hampton Thornton and ask them to participate in things because you can't necessarily combine trash from two towns.
The New Hampshire state rules are,
Mhm.
yeah.
And we, I think a number of years ago, we did approach Campton Thornton to see if we could be part of their
Yeah.
transfer station. And they said no, even though we were willing to pay,
Mhm.
A good amount of money to have to avoid what we have now and then
Yeah.
realizing what was coming downstream.
What would our plan be for rolling this out? If you
Well,
will, would we have a public hearing and,
oh, yes,
let
there would
people
have to be a
know.
lot of,
Sure,
communication,
What's-
yes,
do we have a vision for, and a time scale
exactly.
for
yes,
executing that?
Yes.
I
And in-
think what you're looking for, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, in the meantime, also Megan, you're reaching out to Waste Management, right? See what different options are for commercial and or condos if they wanted to keep their dumpsters.
Mhm.
If there is a plan that, and so we're not just saying, figure it out on your own, at least the town.
Well,
can
we'd have to
say,
give them
we
time
have-
anyway,
No, exactly. We could
considerable
have
time,
some numbers
right?
to
And
consider because everyone will have budgets coming up for condo
sure,
associations.
and if they want to go
Businesses.
on a separate contract with somebody,
No, exactly. This could show them a way to work together.
if they didn't want to be
or
part of
if
this.
they didn't want to invest in bringing things here. So no, this is I just wanted to make sure that this entire board is
Right,
on this
This is the
page. Or
path
if you
we want
have
to go.
any concerns, because the MSW working group is meeting next week, 14th, whenever that is. And we just want to know that. Address any issues.
That
we may
math
have
makes
or-
me laugh.
Yeah.
Initial expense of the pole barn
Yes,
has
that's,
been referred to as a couple $100K.
yep,
How firm is that number?
I don't have an official number at this time.
yeah,
Okay.
because it's
And would
also,
the pole barn, if you will, cover the entirety of the two, if you will, two open
Mhm.
containers plus the compactor?
Yes, so, that
I'm
was
not sure
something-
what the vision is. if
Yeah,
you
we
will.
were discussing that not only internally, but with the municipal solid waste group. It is the thought that it would cover both ramp, compactor and the open tops, because we can also save money tonnage wise in the open tops as well.
but it would be a single.
Yeah, it'd be
point, like
Just
a,
a-
sorry, not a A-frame roof, but like a slant roof, kind of like what the DPW building
Looks
is.
like.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
Since come off to
Um,
one side.
So I think, I think,
okay.
I think the point here is, does the board want to go down this path?
right,
Before we.
Sort of the big question,
Do
and the big
like-
sub question underneath, and aside from all the details that have to be filled
so
in.
many details, yes.
The big sub question underneath that is how are we gonna handle or treat commercials?
Yes,
Now, condo associations are not commercials, they're tax-paying residents who pay a quarterly,
property owners, yes.
right, property owners who pay a quarterly fee for trash, whereas the commercials are paid via a tipping schedule,
Right,
right,
yeah,
which is quite low,
yes.
and that's another area
It's
we
been
can look
very
at
generous, yeah,
in terms of if we're looking for more revenues, that is something else that could be looked at.
for a few months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I enthusiastically support this moving forward with this conceptual plan. Now, we got to fill in the details, and in the end, you know, it may not work out once we get the details and the costs, but in lieu of doing nothing,
Well, I mean, we do have
I
that,
think this is
that
certainly has some.
approximate 200,000.
Yeah.
For the pole barn, the electricity and the ramp. you
Right.
mentioned, but overall, doing it with this estimate, it would save the town 30 to 50%.
Over, as time,
like,
as
per
time,
year.
right,
Yeah, once, ignoring
Made
the
the
bonded
initial-
issue,
right,
but we
Right.
would save significant
right.
amounts.
No new
Long
truck,
term,
no
Yes.
dumpsters,
and I think better
collection.
service, once
no
everyone,
collection.
yeah, once everyone got used to the system, I do
Right.
think it would be much better service for everybody.
Now, the one thing we would need to do is we would need to do some calculations with respect to increased labor for keeping it open more days and all of the other
Well, but the labor wouldn't change.
caveats.
The labor is what we have now, and that's one reason I left all the labor numbers out of here.
It'd
Okay,
be
Because it
reprogrammed.
would, yeah, it would just
essentially.
be, instead of people sitting in the truck all day making circles around the valley, they would be able to be there and servicing people when they brought in their
okay.
trash.
Okay.
Anyway, so at this point, Dan, are you,
Oh, no, I'm
With this
on
concept.
board with it, because
right? gotta do
truck's a
something.
single point failure.
All right, so,
Not
yeah,
sustainable what we're doing right now.
let's
All
move
right.
forward with this
Sounds good.
conceptual plan, and I guess you gotta just lead us by the hand in terms of what schedule you're looking at and what what you'd like to do when.
We'll let the chair know.
Yeah, there's time is a bit of an issue. We may have to have I won't call it a Band-Aid, but some sort of transition period
That's the thing.
potentially before
yes.
we can implement this, especially if we're gonna need a couple $100,000.
And that's where I don't know what the threshold is to call this an emergency. If there's a
Yeah, for a
possibility of
special meeting.
Town meeting to appropriate the funds to be able to get this built in
Well,
the
we
fall.
could certainly ask town council that question.
Yeah.
I
Because
mean,
we are
how,
definitely
what
up
is it?
against it.
Right,
Yeah. Yeah.
I will
So,
continue moving
well, we
forward.
could do that bit and then inform MSW, the
Sure.
committee, about whether that is an option. And that
Yeah.
may speed things up, maybe avoid having this transition period.
Right, which would diminish the savings that we would have seen otherwise.
Right, and since we're going to have, I'm sorry, I can't resist, but since we're gonna have an extremely low increase in our tax rate this year of about 6 cents per thousand, there may be room if we can get a special meeting for more funds that we could perhaps accommodate with this year's tax rate in the end,
Yeah,
maybe, perhaps.
that would be nice too.
Okay,
Great.
anything else on it?
That
Good?
was it.
We're good?
I'm good.
Great, thank you.
I have 1,000 questions, but
Yes, there are.
And we'll have plenty of meetings, yeah. All right, we look forward to your next report. And of course, we don't have to, we could, don't have to wait for a regular meeting. If you need, we can
Sure.
call a special meeting and move on this. And
Great.
some point, as Dan was saying, we're gonna have to get some input from the public.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So I see everybody's here for the community power update. So let's go to the community power update.
In your packet, I have provided you a notice that the Community Power Committee through ECM provided us that illustrates a rate program that they have locked in and gives a little bit of verbiage to our residents about the program, how to opt out, and a little more information. They were kind enough today to ask to be on the agenda to give us a little more information than I'm able to provide. And with that, I'll turn it over
Let's
to
do it.
Pam or Emily.
Awesome. I'm gonna go and then, back follow questions. Awesome.
So the day is arriving.
Yeah, this took us a few years.
I'm gonna say only a couple years.
Few years. I know that you can read that, but I'm gonna say a few things in case people tune in so they can
Mhm.
understand what we're doing. So we're incredibly excited because when we set out to launch this program, we had two goals: saving money and allowing for the purchase of more renewable energy than currently we do. The other thing that I want to, and we've done that, so that's very exciting. So we have rates where automatically our ratepayers here in the Valley are going to be saving a half a cent off of the co-op rates. And if you are purely focused on saving money, you can save up to 1 penny if you choose the basic. So that's incredibly exciting. If you are an environmentally friendly person, for 2 cents above the NHEC rate, you can purchase 100% renewable energy. So for the first time, and there's not a lot of towns in New Hampshire that can say, hey, save money. And if you really, are into renewable energy, you can purchase 100% renewable energy from your home. So we have something very exciting, a very exciting product to offer people. The other thing I want to point out is because we love NHEC, and I think a lot of people here in town do as well, NHEC does not make money off of the sale of their electricity. So if you just stay with us, if you do nothing, you will save money and your electric bill will continue to come from the New Hampshire Electric Cooperative. We will continue to be proud supporters of their work with the service charge that we pay every month, because they are the ones responsible for servicing our poles and wires, making sure that our electricity comes back online when we have power failure. So they're fantastic. But this program will allow you to save money, and you can go all the way down to saving 1 penny. If you just stay with the automatic enrollment, then you will save a half a cent. And if you want to purchase up to 100% renewable, you can pay a little bit extra, and that is an option for you. So we have something highly marketable. There's a letter that needs to go out to every ratepayer. So that's what's in front of you. So we're asking for your approval. And then what's going to happen between now and June, which is our launch date, is we're going to have a series of informational gatherings in various locations. We'll get those advertised. I'm hoping we'll have something in a water bill. We're going to advertise in the wigwag for May. So we're going to do our best to communicate, answer questions. That letter has great links. It makes, if you choose not to participate in this program, it makes opting out very easy. You can opt out at any time. If you want to pay a little bit more money for your electricity, go ahead, opt out. If you want to stay with us and save, that's great. And we're going to have major opportunities down the road if we can continue to come in and save money. So,
Can I just ask you a
Yeah,
quick question?
sure.
Let's say you opt out.
Mhm.
Let's say I were to opt out. And let's say your program struggled like the one down in Bow.
Yeah.
And they ended up with, I think, an $8 million charge for their town that they had to pay. What happens to the individuals that have opted out of that program with respect to the town having to pay some, exorbitant amount of money, which is 8 million down there?
So that is,
I'm not expecting
yeah,
that
that
to
was
happen. I'm just.
yeah. So
trying
if
to
you look,
understand.
if someone, I'll answer you two questions there. So the first question is if someone wants to opt out, if you see the gray, in that sheet in front of you, there's a gray line,
Yeah.
then you'd go to the NHEC rates. So if someone doesn't want our rates, NHEC is like 11 cents, our lowest 11 cents per kilowatt hour. So instead of you paying the 10 cents per kilowatt hour, which is the cheapest, you would pay 11 cents.
Right.
Not a big deal. That is every person's right. That's the
Yeah.
consumer protection that exists within our plan. So we won't be in a situation like Bo based on those consumer protections. And if you look at their business model, it was a high risk business model. We don't have a business model like that. It's really unfortunate that what happened in Bo happened, but I think the consumer protections that are baked into the law were effective. When that program wasn't working, when ratepayers were being asked to pay more, then the town of Bo did what they should do, like you would all do. You are in charge of this program as the select board. If we were ever in a circumstance where, it wasn't working, you'd say, hey, this isn't working. We're not going to participate any further. So that's what they did in Bo. It was a program where they were ending up underwater because of, I would say, a riskier business model. And so they utilized their consumer protections. Our consumer protections are very simple. If you don't want to participate, you just opt out. And so that's
Well, they had
pretty
an
straightforward.
opt-out system as well.
exactly consumer protections.
At one point, I think I read in here, if you have solar panels, you should opt out. Is
Yeah,
that
if you're in
correct?
net metering, right?
Yeah,
I can address that.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, do you want me to come to?
Yeah, please.
Yes.
Yeah, and could you introduce yourself too? Yeah.
Okay, so, yes, so I am Emily Mans and my company is ECM Power, and ECM Power is the consultant for the town of Waterville Valley Community Power Aggregation. And actually, if I may, I'll just say a couple of things about the program. One is that it was approved by voters in 2023. And at that time, there was public input, there were public hearings on the structure of the program. And that's when Bo chose one structure and Waterville Valley chose another structure. So as Kim was saying, that the issue that's happening in Bo can't happen in Waterville Valley. There's no cost to the municipality. Actually, I don't think there's a cost to the municipality in Bow either, but in terms of there will not be a cost to the municipality in Waterville Valley for the program, and customers can come and go from the program at will. The town signed an electric services agreement with a supplier. I think it was on the March 17th. And that started 80-day, 75-day period where we'll do public outreach, as Kim was saying. All of that, those activities, those requirements are in your electric aggregation plan. So people can go to your now town page on my website to see the plan if they want to see details of the program. But
What's the website? Could you
but
just say it?
so it's ecmpower.com/communities/Waterville Valley. So
Oh, it's already. sorry.
yes, so it will be
Okay.
on there. I do, the site's not perfect yet. I have a technical issue with the forms aren't working quite yet, but customers won't be visiting. The letter should
Okay.
go in the mail in a couple of weeks, and then they'll start to arrive at the site in about 3 weeks. So my point in saying that is that's where we are in the process. And one of the roles of the consultant that's defined in your plan is that I give you updates and that you have the opportunity to weigh in on the elements as you see fit. There are required elements and then there are best practices, and we'll, work through those over the next period as we go through. So there's a lot of information on that letter, and because every customer is a little bit different. So a customer with solar panels, if they don't know how old their solar panels are, or if they're newer and they get monetary credits on their bill, then they should not participate in the program. And they will not be automatically enrolled in the program. So they should be all set, but they shouldn't join the program. They'll get a letter saying that the program's open to all customers in town, but they shouldn't participate, or they could lose their monetary credits. People with older solar panels, if you have people who built their or put up their panels before 2017, they're on the NEM 1 tariff. They get full kilowatt hour credits on their bill. They can safely participate.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and also there are group net metering hosts. They should not participate. Group net metering members can safely participate.
Oh,
So that makes sense to people who understand
How
those
it works.
those labels.
Right.
But the important thing is there's ways to get information in the letter. We'll post on the website. We'll do all kinds of things. These guys have been great for outreach when we were doing the plan. But I also take direct customer calls. I help lots of people that call up and say, where is my supplier on my bill? I help lots of people, and you can always, the town is always, you will inevitably get calls at the town. I already introduced myself to to some town staff, because people do call, and you can give out my number, and I help lots of customers, but not as many as you think. Like, it's not like a flood or anything so there's lots of support for the town and for customers to understand what their choices are in the program and to participate.
I did, if you don't mind,
Mhm.
just to let everyone know, Emily was nice enough through this process to give me a couple of contacts throughout the state that is currently with Emily Services, and I spoke to a select board chair in New Boston who had great things to say. I think he's on his second contract with you at this point.
That's correct.
About a
Yep.
year and a half, 2 years involved.
Mhm.
Said it's very stable. He's had no communicative issues at all. It's been a very easy process for him. So that was good to hear. And also in Rollingsford, I talked to the chair of the Renewable Energy Committee there, and he just like the gentleman from New Boston had very positive things to say about the program. So
Great.
Thank you.
Do
Thank
you have
you.
a schedule and a plan moving forward? I know you talked about having discussions with the town and things like that.
Yes.
So,
we meet monthly, and that's on our agenda. So we will formulate a communication plan, and we'll work in conjunction with Emily to make sure that it's a cohesive process, both with mailers and in person. And, you want to get about six touches if you can. And I don't mean like physically touching somebody, that would be weird. But, if you can, just maybe that would help. I don't know. So we want to make sure we're, hitting social media and a lot of different avenues. So, and of course, the post office, because that's where everyone really goes for their news in town. So I think it'll be okay. But that's what we're going to actually be doing tomorrow, is jumping in and looking at how best to communicate this plan out to people to launch.
So in a public
just for the
hearing,
board, would there be a public hearing?
I'm gonna
that
say,
we
no, I
could
think
host
we're required to.
from our side?
So the town is required
Mhm.
to offer one public information meeting. It is not a hearing.
Right.
So there's a presentation and a public Q&A period.
Okay.
And I was asking if we could get that settled promptly, so that can get put on the letter and the letters can go to the printer.
Right.
All of that takes some time.
Yeah, I think we
so-
could do that. I mean, the main question I think people will have, as we've talked about several times already, is how do I opt out if I want to opt out? Because everyone's automatically in. That's the main idea we have to understand.
Mhm.
And you're automatically in the second plan, right? I mean, there's,
Saving about a half a cent.
right,
Yep.
right. It's not the cheapest of the three.
Right, so if
Right.
you know someone who's pinching pennies and thrifty, you wanna encourage them to go down to the basic.
The
which will
basic.
save 1 penny, and that's, it's significant savings over
Right.
the cost of it, over the course of a year.
So people will have to make that choice.
Yep.
So we can discuss this at a public information. Right, and we're right, but we are running up against a little bit against the clock here, right? I mean, we want to start on 1 June.
So it's not that we want to start, it's that the town signed a contract that we are starting.
Right.
And there are, and no, and but,
Yes.
and there are required elements that, and so I am here to just say that normally I work with the select board's designated agent. So
Mhm.
when I send, if I send Steve something that he can respond to me, or I can
Yep.
assume it's approved, in a short amount of time.
Yep.
So, because the letters that are going out to customers are a required element. And in the
Right.
fall, we had some problems with the mail service. So just,
Right.
recommend that, we stay off critical path for that. The meeting has to be within 15 days of the mailing. So I'd suggested a window for the meeting. It could follow this meeting on the 6th would be one option, but it can be any day of the week. And I had suggested between April 30th and the 6th of May.
For the
but
public
it's-
information.
For the public information meeting. But the reason we need to know now is to get on that letter and then to the printer. So we don't need it now. I can put to be, look on the town website, but it would be if it's,
And I'm
if we
wondering
can settle it.
if we want to have a public meeting when second homeowners are in town, because they're a huge
Part of this.
quantity of participants.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So would like a Friday or Saturday be appropriate? for
And
this?
you're talking
I know-
like 6 p.m.
I don't know what would be best. I know it's been a struggle trying to address the second homeowner population to
Right.
get them in. I don't know.
Right.
I honestly have no idea
just-
what the best time is.
It's and a Friday or Saturday and 6 is probably a bad time because
Because usually.
even if they're in
and-
town, they're out.
Yeah.
Is the select board generally present at these meetings?
It is, the town is present, the town hosts the meeting, so I think it's always helpful. Customers like to hear from
Yeah,
from
No,
town
I think we would
representatives, so,
open up. the
so I
meeting.
think that would be,
Yeah,
if that's possible.
whatever it's
Um,
called.
The other thing is
Maybe
that
we'll do
if we can record it, or maybe, I'm
Mhm.
hoping that you can
That's
record
true.
it, but it
That's
sounds
true.
like you can
Yeah.
record it.
Yeah.
So that can
Sure.
be a vehicle for people to.
Yeah, that's a good
And-
point.
And we could also do, I'm also happy to do like a Zoom meeting, a separate Zoom meeting. One meeting is required by statute within 15 days of the mailing, but we can do other meetings. And obviously Kim's very knowledgeable, so but
So
if
what
you
was
want
the
another
date? What was the window again?
so that between April 30th and the 6th, so the 30th is a Thursday.
Is that week, that first week of May?
Yeah.
That's the week of the 4th of May, pretty much.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
You
could
know-
do the 29th as well, but I have a hearing the day before, that's all.
So that's true. I didn't think about the recording.
Yeah,
aspect.
I mean,
Maybe
do we-
that's a better
Do we
part of
just want to
our-
do it before our select board meeting on the 6th?
Are we suggesting the 4th and 5th? Is that what we're suggesting of May?
Well, we're already scheduled to meet on the 6th at 3 p.m.
Oh, so right before.
So either,
Oh,
we
you know
do-
what? I'm not gonna be here that
oh,
whole week. And I was
Oh.
gonna bring that up later, but
Okay.
I think two select board people is all that we
Um,
need.
well, then the next,
Well, no, I think you need to do it within that time frame.
yeah, no, well, I'm just going the other direction. Sorry, misspoke. So yeah, before that, our next meeting's on the 15th.
And that would be too early for the letter.
It's too early for the letter.
Mhm.
Or we'll have to lay on a special meeting then.
Well, we have one on
Well,
the
you
29th,
Not
right?
Yeah, you guys could do it on the 6th.
Yeah.
Don't we have one on 29th? Select board meeting?
No,
We don't?
no.
7 months, we have a
We,
3-week hiatus.
we have a
between-
3-week hiatus because then, yeah,
1, 2.
I double check, but I
That would
don't,
be a 4-week hiatus. No,
Right.
3,
No,
never
3.
mind. 3.
yeah, so much early this spring.
I'm
All right, you
on
want to
the
just do it
cusp.
on, you fine with it?
I'm fine with you guys doing it for that week.
On the,
Okay.
why don't we schedule it for the 6th? We can either start at 3 or start the meeting early.
I think we would run up against a lot of the usual complaints if we were to have your part of the meeting early. Because people would say, I can't be there because I have to work, blah, blah, blah.
And one of the people who might be complaining would be Kim.
So,
I've been working on this for 6 years, but I'd really like to be.
Yeah.
so,
We can do it
right,
later in the
so
meeting.
we would do it
5 o'clock.
At
at the end of the
or-
meeting or whatever.
Yeah, we can schedule
mean-
5.
4:35.
Why don't we
Okay.
keep a nice round number, 5 o'clock?
Okay, and then we'll
Let's
squeeze our
complicate it.
agenda that day to.
Well,
try
or
and
we can
make
start
sure.
early. We can start at 2 to make sure we're
Okay.
done.
We could start at 2.
We can start our regular meeting at 2 and just make sure we're done by 5.
Perfect.
So we'll do that
Can you
on,
do me a favor?
that was 6 May
Send out an RSVP. so we could send
at 5 PM. We'll do this public information meeting.
Mhm.
And people have to ask any questions they have of you folks and then
And
we'll
this
go.
would be the location?
yes,
Okay, and just to
I
anticipate,
think we're gonna get,
people do come to these meetings.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know, but so you will have people coming in half an hour early. So if that affects the time you want to do it, if you think that would be disruptive, or if you want to do
No.
it 5:30 or something, but
well.
but
if we
anyway,
have to,
5
we
is.
can Play it,
Oh, we're okay with
Okay.
lots of people at the meetings. We're
Yeah, good.
accustomed to that.
yeah,
I'll
Yeah.
call our bouncer.
yeah,
See right here?
all right, I think we're good.
Okay,
Good.
Great, any
Great.
questions for Emily or for Kim?
Thank you.
All right,
Mhm.
well,
thank you so much.
back to work, guys, and we'll see you on the 5th. I mean, sorry, the 6th at 5.
Thanks.
Thank you all very much.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move along then to our old business, 6A. 2026 budget wrap up. So this was really just to put a point on it that I believe the final operating budget documents have been posted to the town websites for folks to look at. There are a couple of questions in front of us now. One of which is the question of that Cindy brought up, a question of people who would like to provide funds to events or organizations that the town will not be funding or have reduced funding for 2026. It seems to me that they kind of fall in maybe 3 buckets. So the one bucket would be private nonprofits. There's no town involvement whatsoever. So if you want to support the Historical Society or AIA or Race Center, that's strictly between the donor and the organization. I would be remiss in not pointing out there were about another half dozen other regional nonprofits that we provided funding to. I don't know if you have them handy.
Like
I s-
Kathy and.
Yeah,
Kind of ask for a list.
Voices Against
so that we
Violence.
Have a list that we
Tri-County.
can work from, that people can choose to donate for whatever.
the list is in the budget except for these 5 or 6 charities basically that we used to give small amounts of money to, frankly.
Right.
So,
Tri-County Community.
yeah, how can we get that out?
CASA, Caddy,
Yeah.
Voices Against Violence.
Yeah,
Steve.
Can we
you
put that
send
on
me- Can you send me those if you can?
I could post something to the website.
I was gonna say, post it
Yeah.
to the website.
That'd be good. The other thing, the biggest thing we're worried about right now is the July 4th.
Well, I'm coming to that.
Okay,
Right, that I haven't gotten to that bucket yet.
okay.
I did the easiest bucket first, all right? Those that really, you don't need town involvement whatsoever. The second would be anything, second bucket would be municipal services of any kind or public. I'm really talking here about the library, for example. But again, they have their own budget, their own accounting. You don't give the money to the town because we would put it in our fund balance. You have to work out with the library how they accept donations
That's
for their
where
services.
initially that the Waterville Valley Foundation
Right.
would allow us to filter monies through them with direction as to who those monies would go to.
Sure, Yeah, however you guys want to do
Yeah.
it. All I'm trying to say is that the library is, I think, a little different in that they have their
Yeah.
own system, so there's no need, again, it doesn't impact our operating budget at this point, which is the major concern. And the last, and there's sub buckets, we'll just call it one big bucket, is those events that the town used to sponsor but have reduced or is not sponsoring. So that would include, the big one is fireworks, but there's Casting for Kirby is the other major one. Are there any other major ones we can think of that National Night Out, was that part of our, we're good there, right?
We're good there, 'cause those
Right.
are all already off of just, donations, business donations.
Right,
We are the clearinghouse in basically a revolving fund for all the towns that participate.
right,
There's no town funds that get expended for.
right. That's never been in our budget for anything,
No,
right?
it's never been in our
Right.
budget.
So let's talk about the two, the fireworks. Steve, you want to say what you've uncovered so far?
Sure. So Dave and I had the opportunity to speak with a rep at the pyrotechnic company who supports the fireworks and has for at least 5 years, at least since I've been here, Dave, maybe longer than that.
They've been doing it as long as I've been here. They changed names, but it's the same company.
So we explained to them that we had some funding difficulties this year. I was told that, I asked a couple of questions. I asked, one, is our contract transferable? And they told me that in order for them to transfer a contract to a new entity, that could be done potentially if they have the room to do it, but their new rates for their rates for new customers right now are $35,000 for a 4th of July display this year.
Okay.
I asked then, would you accept checks from other entities besides the town? And I was told yes. So I would suggest potentially a path forward could be, if there are donations, if there are folks or companies that want to make donations, I can list the company's name on our website, who to make the check payable, and I would be happy to take the checks into town and disperse the funds out, assuming that we get enough to cover the expense of the fireworks, which right now we have 3,000 from one
Yes.
entity, so it would be $17,000 we'd be looking for.
And what if $17,000 was not raised by outside entities?
Cindy, I think, has a comment tonight.
Well, we would
Well, I
pay a
mean,
cancellation fee.
But we have an issue in that we become obligated. And then there is a cancellation fee, and then the longer we go, well, people are trying to raise that money. That cancellation fee could be increased.
Well,
It is.
And we
unless
don't
we-
have that money in
Well, we
our
can come up with
budget
a
to do
date
that.
to,
Well, yeah, if it wasn't raised by June 1st, then we would look at that higher cancellation.
We would
fee,
just-
So that would be the,
the money would have to
Right.
be raised by
Right.
June 1st.
Right now, we are obligated for 10% of the total cost, so we need to pay this company $2,000 right now. We have until June 1st-ish, June 3rd
Third, I think
technically,
it is, yeah.
to avoid, I believe it goes up to a 50%.
Yeah, no, it's
penalty.
increased, closer you get to the date.
Yeah.
There, I think there is.
Question though,
Yeah.
Mhm.
have you asked them in lieu of our financial situation, is it possible to have a grand 4th of July without going the total cost to see if we could get a cost reduction?
We
Yeah.
did,
Okay, and what did you, no?
there isn't. We asked if we could do a smaller display,
and they
Okay.
won't,
and they won't.
really?
No.
Just because they don't offer it, or?
I assume, I didn't dig in,
They
but
won't
I
make the
assume
money
they've
they could
already
make.
purchased
Yeah.
they already have
Yeah,
the
the
inventory.
supply
to
chain.
supply our-
Wow,
Okay,
Yeah.
and
So I think what we're, based on what Dan was alluding to, I think if money is going to be raised, that we'd have to have the funds by the 1st or
June.
thereabouts.
of June.
he said by the end of April would be ideal.
So the total cost?
To commit to them by
But
the end
you
of
already
April.
have 3,000, you said in the till.
Mhm.
Right,
So we
haven't-
have till Fourth of July,
No,
Well, June first.
June first, okay,
technically,
so
but
we've got. a
in our
okay.
conversation with him, he said he would like, now knowing the circumstances, he would appreciate a firmer commitment by the end of April. And again, it's because we've been a long-term customer with them. I couldn't
Well,
believe the price escalation for
yeah,
new
but
customers
Yeah.
compared
we
to
have a
us.
contract. We
Mhm.
are
Yeah.
committed.
Yeah.
And if we decide to bail, we pay a penalty.
Well, Dave, I mean, you heard him. I think it was more of a, we would appreciate it by the end of April. You know,
Yeah, he was giving us a extension, because actually it was April, it was today,
I'm on,
contractually that we had.
Really,
to
that's
sign.
the contract, the contract, I thought.
that's not inked. That, no, I re-reviewed it. It's actually, we're obligated from the date that we signed the contract back in August for 2% if we cancel.
Okay.
Up until June 3rd.
It's 30 days
Yeah.
before.
Yep.
And then as you get closer, like within 2 weeks, it jumps up considerably.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then there's another period that if you cancel within a day or two, then it jumps up even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean,
I don't,
I don't know what to tell the guy, other
Yeah.
than we have a contract, and no matter what conversations that may have taken place are, that we have a contract and it's signed.
Yeah.
And if we will pay the penalty if we pull up.
right.
Yeah.
But I think the earlier we get it,
Well, yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's
if we do,
obviously,
the better.
right, so,
I'm unwilling to use significant contingency funds to pay a penalty. Like, I don't want to pay a
Well, we
50%
have-
penalty out of contingency.
no,
fund.
we're
We
not
don't
gonna
have
get
that.
there, we're not getting there.
And we have the $3,000 from the WVBA to help pay for this 10% if it comes to that.
Correct.
Yeah, that was my thought as well, that the 2,000 that we were on the hook for by 3 or 4 June.
Mhm.
If WVBA is willing, we can use 2,000 of that to
Yeah.
pay for the
And I'm
cancellation
saying
fee.
yes, but of course I will check with the
We
rest of the
would
board.
have,
Yes.
and that's something that needs to be checked, and then, we'd have 1,000 to put towards some patriotic purpose for July 4th.
Mhm.
That we can come up with, yeah.
As far as people writing checks and whatnot, in this situation, would we filter them through the foundation again?
I don't think it matters. It's the company's supposed to, you'll have to make them out to the company,
To the
right?
company?
Yes, the checks will have to be made payable to the organization that
You
puts on
can
the,
Send me that
I'm
information.
gonna
Well,
post that to the website if
But
the board
if
agrees.
everything was to go to the foundation could just ink a
They,
check.
that'd be an
That's
aggregate, that would be the
Exactly.
easier way to
That
do
would
it.
So,
And you could do something fun, like
If-
have a thermometer, like here.
If,
however
if
close
the
we have to
foundation
the-
wants to do it,
Yeah.
that would be easier.
well, they said, we've talked to them already. They
All right.
said they would. So.
There would just need to be some communication with the town so we can keep.
Yeah.
Well,
Of
well,
course.
basically, I think the bottom line is, again, and I agree with Dan. If we don't have the money by the 1st of June, we're going to
Yes.
cancel the contract.
Correct.
And
Yes.
so the people who want to put this on have to let the select
Gonna
board,
have
the
to
town
hustle.
know what the status of their collection efforts is. I wouldn't send them any money until you've collected whatever you collected and talked to the town. Yes,
if
Margaret.
We cancel the contract, we no longer have dibs on.
Nope,
July 4th.
that's right.
Yes.
It's
we
all at
will-
the bottom.
Yep,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah,
And it could impact us next year too.
Yep.
It could be
a
new
there's no
customer.
doubt about
Yes.
that. No doubt about that at all, I
Yeah.
guess. So I think that's where it
Okay.
stands. So if you have something, Cindy, if a group of you have something going with the foundation, it makes sense if they're willing to do it for them to sort of run it.
They're willing,
And-
we've talked,
and-
and that's why I've asked, for a list. Like, I've had conversations with Brooke and Dave about the Derby.
Yeah, we'll get to that, yeah. But as far as the fireworks are concerned, I think that'll be the way to do it. And then as we get closer, we have, we don't have to have a special meeting or anything for it, but we have a select board meeting on 17 May. I'm sorry. Nope, wrong month. Let me get my right month. 20 May.
Yeah.
And then the one right after that actually is on 3rd of June. So on 3rd of June, I think that's when we decide that, because I
Is
think we
that
have
too
30
late?
days. No, I think it's 30 days from July 4th.
But it would be good, like May 20th would be a great goal.
Well, I think you
To
go for
try.
that, because if we're close,
Down for May 20th.
I would put May 20th, so that gives a couple week leeway if you're really, really close,
Yeah.
you know?
At least it gives me a little more than a month.
And you can see
Exactly.
where you are in
Yeah.
terms of how far away you are. Now okay, so that seems a reasonable path. There is an additional complication here, though, and I think, Chief, this is where your contribution would be helpful. I think we'll also potentially have to talk to town council. What can the town do in terms of set up special detail, cleanup afterward, DPW cleanup afterward? I mean, how do we cover those costs if we have zero in the budget? And there are costs, right?
There are. You know, typically, you know, we pay details out of the detail line, but.
Right, we
but,
cut that,
you know, we ate, the town ate the cost. You
right,
know, there wasn't anybody reimbursing us,
right,
for that.
right,
Same thing with DPW as far as putting a person on late night for the cleanup.
right. And this is on a
People do it.
Saturday this year, July 4th, so it'll be Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
Work.
So, you know, we have 3 staff members that, we have the, road closure and then a
Right,
fire truck that's on site. during
Deployed.
setup. Yep.
right. So people and then DPW is gonna have what, 2-3 days you need? 3 days, couple people
Yeah.
for
2-3
cleanup?
people, so yeah.
So, I mean, is there a way we can get a sense of the cost? I'm not sure we can do it unless that money is also part of whatever's raised for the fireworks.
Trying to think of something.
And I don't know how we
If
do
could
that.
Put a committee together to do the cleanup. After the fact, I mean, if we do town cleanup, what's,
I don't know. I
You
honestly
know?
don't know. It could be something special related to fireworks.
Yeah, is there an insurance issue if there's an
there?
undetonated
Dave, do you?
firework?
Well,
Well, it's. You know, it's a town function, you know, typically a town function and usually. It doesn't get cleared, staff is covered because it is the town, because it's a town event. And.
Right, but-
We do not let the general public come into the
Yeah,
area,
fireworks area.
right.
Yeah.
No, I think you'd want to do until it was safe. Cleanup is the last safety
Yeah.
measure. Yes, Margaret.
The mini fireworks that the resort runs.
Yeah.
They do it, it's a smaller show, so there's a much smaller distance, required distance. But because they do it in the wedding area, it's all pretty much self-contained, there's no general public going through there. You know, they just put a tape across the trail and just keep people out of there.
And they're
Because-
responsible for their own cleanup.
Correct.
Yes,
Yep.
their private property, I guess.
Yeah. It's all on private property.
So I guess there are a couple of questions here. I mean, can we estimate what the cost would be, say, for special detail and for DPW? And 2, can we legally do it? I imagine if it's a special detail, we could. We'd have to check with town council.
Back at the back of the napkin estimate is about $2,000. Combined with the
DPS,
detail.
DPW for setup,
Yeah,
safety.
the
cleanup.
only, as far as I know, Megan, unless you made it any modifications to your overtime lines that I'm unaware of. The only reduction was to the detail line. That was made through this budget
Right.
process. So, you know, typically we absorb the overtime expense within the budget that Megan puts together for highway.
okay,
I don't think she made any changes to that this year through this process, but I do know there were changes
Okay.
made
Right,
in Dave's department.
$3,060.
all right, let's call it 3 to make it easy
$3,000.
for both departments,
Yeah.
for both
No,
departments.
that's just public safety.
Oh, okay, so then,
Because it's 12 hours, they need.
Right.
They need a 6-hour setup, so we close the road about 11 AM noon
Right.
time.
Yeah.
And then by the time the cleanup and the roads open, it's not till midnight.
what's your
typically.
What's your estimate on DPW?
well, it's already in our budget, is what Steve was saying, right? It's in your.
I don't normally really estimate it too much in the budget, just because
In your overtime expense.
small money.
Well,
Compared to snow plowing.
Yeah.
I did 3 at 4 hours, $600. Ish.
So you're looking at about $3,600 roughly.
yeah, but there's the legal aspect of this that I haven't a
Sure.
clue. Since it's our contract, I mean, I don't think we want anybody but us responsible for setup and cleanup and
Yeah,
safety and all of that. We're gonna have to get town council to look at this and see if this whole arrangement is
The-
doable
The fire marshal's office would not let anyone else but
Anyway.
us,
anyway.
sure.
Right,
you know, be there.
right.
What did you drop your special detail on, Dave? 6,000?
We did.
All right, well, I mean, if you guys, Cindy, if your group wants to go ahead and see if you can raise the money.
Hopefully we'll raise more so you don't have to.
Well, I mean,
See what we
I
can do.
think we got two big questions for town council. One is, can we expend any funds on supporting this? You know, and if so, how do we do that? Can we accept, like, if you're raising 17, if you raise like 21, so that you're paying the fireworks company and you're paying the town for the special detail and overtime. I imagine that's doable. I just don't know exactly
You
how.
just need to do it right.
You just need to do it right. And then the legal aspects of this, I mean, you know, you never know, a lawyer may wave you off about getting involved when talking fireworks.
Regardless if we raise money for the special details or not,
How do we,
that will still be
Show
an
up
impact on the budget.
on the budget? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
Unless
figure out.
Dave's able to work it into the 29,000 that was approved.
Right.
Well, we could, right? But then as we get closer to the end of the year, I mean, we may be able to shift monies around, right?
July 4th isn't the end of the.
No, but as we get
Yeah.
closer, as we get closer to the end of the year. Yeah, that's why I want to talk to a lawyer about this.
So it seems like we need to talk with our council
Yeah.
and then see where Cindy and her group can get to
Yeah.
by May 20th.
Right.
And then we'll move from there.
Right, and
Yeah.
we'll Fisher Cup bait on the 20th, and on
Yeah.
that note, what do we want to say about casting for Kirby? I don't see how,
Brooke and I met.
Yeah.
You know, we talked with Cindy with the reduction in his funds, we came to the conclusion that it's just not possible for us to do the event. It's a lot more than just purchasing prizes.
oh, yeah,
There is
Yeah.
way more coordination. In an effort for there being groups that are interested in kind of carrying that torch, we did pass along the how-to put on our fishing derby.
Yeah, I've got it.
It's
Pretty extensive.
it's very extensive.
sure, it's a big event.
But at this point, you know, as unfortunate as it is. we
You'd
just
recommend
can't-
we not go forward.
We recommend. that.
Okay. Still stock the pond?
Yes.
Yes, I did get a fish price. They're about $4.50 each for 8 to 10 inches, so. I would, you know, recommend using the 2,000.
2,000, okay. That's,
Putting the fish in, and quite frankly, we can wait to whenever that's most appropriate. Doesn't
Oh, there
have
we
to be
go.
before Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right. Are there any other events or any other
Budgetary wrap-up concerns?
budgetary, thank you, budgetary wrap-up concerns? I think, well, there's one, the only other thing I had was that, is to ask that if anyone is interested in being a member of this financial advisory committee that the select board is forming, please give us something in writing. We're collecting names, so you can email the board via the website, or if you have a board member or Steve's email, send them an email. We're collecting names. I think the idea is to wait until our new town manager is on board, and then discuss the structure, remit, and size of this committee with him. So probably May-ish, end of May, I think. We'll have that put together, schedule, size, remit, who will be on it. And speaking of the town manager, let's move to the next item.
Great, so happy to inform you that we have a signed offer letter and a signed 3-year contract with our new town manager, Ed Mullen. Expected start date is April 30th. He is very excited to get involved. He's been contacting me relatively frequently with some good questions. He wants to line up some one-on-ones with all of our department heads in advance of his start date and would like to do the same with you all. So I provided him with your direct contact information
Great.
as well.
Thank you.
You know, I think he's gonna be a great addition. I think him and I will have a great working relationship and I'm very excited to get him onboarded. I've contacted our IT support partners to get him some equipment. Him and I have conversed about what his preferences are there. I've contacted Verizon. We'll line him up with a cell phone in advance of his hire date, and I will start moving out of my office and moving next door to share with to share an office with Jamie. I think that would be a better situation for him rather than being upstairs.
Yeah, that was a bad spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
he'll
think-
move into the old town managers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, into my office. So with that, I have here a press release. I think I shared that with you all as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That,
I have a couple little things.
I noticed Mark's name was spelled with a C, so I made that change.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think in the first paragraph, instead of unfortunate passing, perhaps
Yeah.
untimely passing.
Untimely? Sure.
And the third paragraph, instead of the select board congratulated, it should probably be present tense. Since everything else in the
Yep,
sentence is
good fix.
present tense, so congratulates.
Yep.
Great. I'm good with it. We're good with it.
Yeah.
So, yes, go ahead and issue it.
Suggestions on other than just our website, maybe Facebook,
I mean, the.
Margaret might have a
The
suggestion.
union leader, right?
you want to get it in the paper?
Yeah, I think. we
Yeah.
put it in the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
Margaret?
Margaret?
I suggest that you communicate this to all of the town employees before you begin the rest of this.
Has it not been?
Have you notified?
All the
town
department
employees?
heads are aware, and I'm hoping you guys can cascade that down.
Already told my people.
Awesome.
Right.
Did you tell your people?
I did.
Did you tell your people?
He is the
I
people.
also know.
Yeah.
Did you tell your
We have a
people?
department meeting Friday, so
Okay.
for those that
So-
don't know, we'll make sure they do.
Some type of memo might be there.
You can
Like an
do an,
internal
you
memo.
can do an internal memo
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I'll just share this. Yeah.
with
yeah.
the, so his name is Ed Mullen. He'll be starting on the 30th. I'm sure he'll be busy before that. I think he'll be attending some meetings. I think Zoom.
Yeah,
Does he
he's
attend?
planning on the 13th and the 20th to join at least Dylan and I on our Monday morning capital project meetings that we have.
Right.
So he'll be at them on in the last week in April. I'm off for 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And he might take that opportunity to pop in and meet with some of the department heads and maybe just get familiarized with the area, the office, and then
Right.
Start officially on Thursday, the 30th.
I have a request from Andy Knight. It was wigwag hat on. He'd like to interview Ed in time for the 1 May wigwag issue. So could you check with Ed and see if it's okay if we pass his phone number to Andy so Andy can talk to him?
It'd be by the 20th.
By the 20th?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I know Ed
Wait till
is,
he has official cell phone.
Well, he just wants to write something for the 1 May issue. I don't think it's a
more
big
than what
deal.
we have here.
I told him about the press release. I said, refer to the press release. But he's probably looking for some kind of,
Yeah, one-on-one,
Personal.
just nice
Yeah.
discussion.
yeah, I don't think it's a problem. I mean, unless Ed doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, I'll talk to him about
You
it.
know,
I
just
can't see why
sometime in the
wouldn't.
next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I just know he has some vacation time baked in. I forget which week. he
Yeah,
said that.
I'd imagine it's a short conversation, a few minutes, 5-10 minutes. You
Okay,
can tell him what the wigwag is.
Send him a copy.
Yeah. But it would be good to get it in 1 May. And then I think after that, I think as we have talked, him getting out and about town and
Well, should
meeting
we do an
people.
official meet and greet?
Yeah,
Oh, there'll be
absolutely.
lots to discuss. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one of the things I was thinking.
Yep,
Middle of town square.
Yeah.
well, we could,
Well, and
let's think
On the
about it.
rack.
that's something similar to like a coffee with a cup.
Oh, I think that
Like,
was
you
that,
know,
yeah.
have a
I don't know, is it in the
coffee,
budget? No.
Maybe I'll get some donations of coffee,
Yeah.
and biscuits and stuff.
No, well, I think we would officially welcome, and he is sworn in, isn't he? It's is RSA 37.
I'll check on that.
check on that. We
Yeah.
could have it as swearing in, we can hold it wherever
Sure.
and make that sort of the official welcome aboard.
Yep.
Doesn't have to be exactly on the 30th. It could be whenever we want to do the
Right.
ceremony part of it.
Right.
Cool.
We'll do all of that. All right. Anything else
Nope.
with Ed? Let's go to the wastewater treatment plant project update. Speaking of morning meetings, could you just cover for me?
Of course.
So. No, nothing on the communications update side, engineering update, Black and Beach is, going back and. Redoing the flows and loads to incorporate smaller, design. For something.
That's okay. I'm waiting for you to
Okay,
finish your
so-
sentence.
They, you know, they're going back, rehashing all that out while also beginning work for what we had discussed briefly earlier regarding the EPA, their ask.
Yep.
So I'm going to have an amendment for you at the next meeting to have you vote on for Black and Beach officially just to do that work.
Yep.
I thought it would be prudent to wait until after our conversation with EPA to see what the temperature was regarding us pushing back on them.
Yep.
And, you know, just so they understand that this is, in fact, more so a feasibility study first and foremost than it is and a facility optimization of the treatment processes. So
Mm.
that's really what it boils down to, I think. So regarding the engineering update, that's where we're at there.
For the engineering work they're doing on the wastewater treatment facility. Do we have a schedule? For, if you will, next iteration
Yeah,
for when,
you're talking,
even if it's first cut of,
I'll ask them for a formal.
I think we have to keep the pressure on them. To not let things dawdle out, because we gotta make, you know, time is ticking, as you know, more than I do.
Right.
Time is ticking,
I don't have a concern
yeah,
on that end, Dan, to be honest with you. I think they had alluded to maybe a month and a half's time for them to be able to do that work.
Yep.
So I'd be able to anticipate mid-May to late May to have that
okay,
done. I will inquire about that and ask for it. Not just an update on that or a schedule on that, but an overall project schedule as well.
okay,
To try to incorporate anything to do with the existing facility in lagoons. Because that's gonna be a totally separate
right,
task that will have
Right.
to have its own schedule
Yep.
as well.
right.
So.
Just work with Will if you can on that and see what we can do to stay on point. I'm concerned. About any schedule slippage, that could be really devastating if. Things slide, and
For sure.
Mario tended to let things slide a little more than I felt comfortable with, to be honest with you.
Understood.
Oh, you know those engineers.
Well, yeah, I know, I do know them.
I know you. That's
Unfortunately.
why I said that.
Legal update, again, just echoing what our previous mention was of where we're at with EPA. In trying to come to an agreement with them to get the AOC in order. And that way we can actually have a compliance schedule that we can adhere to and get this project built and not have to worry about any outside. Or third party suing us for not being in compliance with our existing permit.
Right.
So.
The positive thing for everybody who may not be aware is that. They didn't just say no with respect to an AOC. They sent us something. We're now responding back because what they sent us isn't really quite appropriate. But we will end up with an AOC based on everything it looks like. So that's a very positive step. You know, you put a lot of work into that. I appreciate it.
Absolutely not. And at the end of the day, you know, we can push back. It doesn't mean that we're going to make much headway. At
Right.
the end of the
Well-
day, they're the ones giving us the AOC. It's just.
Yeah.
whether or
It's on
not-
their terms.
That's right. That's the unfortunate side of it. And
Yeah.
We asked, you know, we had to ask for it. That's on consent, obviously. So, but it's always at least ask and see if there's something that they will allow us to do. Because again, some of the asks that are in there are just not reasonable for where we're at in this project and knowing what we're actually striving for. It's not like this is the facility that we're gonna be operating for the next 30 years.
Right.
Right.
And I think that's something, you know, that needs to be highlighted over and over again, that this is quite literally a stopgap measure.
Right.
Right,
So,
so X amount of months for how much money,
Yeah.
really?
yeah,
Right.
and yet to be determined.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it can
So-
be very substantial, so. Other than that, I don't, Steve, unless you have it on the data, I don't have anything, that I can think of.
Nope.
So you would talk to somebody right after the town meeting and you had given them some materials
The CWSRF administrator.
and,
No update on that for you right now.
okay.
Um,
Is it worth reaching out to them and just,
I
Taking a
I believe
temperature
they're in
everywhere.
Washington right now, Dan. That's what I was told. The first, second week of April, they're gonna be down there. Advocating on our behalf. So as
okay,
soon as I hear back, I'll
okay.
provide an update.
yeah, and then from that, we can
You
use
need me to
that,
put a suit on and fly down.
may not be a good time now. Spring into something for congressionally directed spending, maybe next year, but let's see how this goes first.
Yes.
Right,
With the state. The other thing I had on this, had to do with, the idea of a sewer district. I think we're gonna have to move rather smartly on this if we're gonna go down that direction.
Mhm.
And we may have to, if we're gonna decide for next year's budget that we wanna add $1 or $2 to the tax rate,
Yeah.
to start building up some funds, rather than wait until 2031 and then getting hit with that huge
Yep.
increase in 1 year. So
I think it's a big question if we want to create a sewer district.
I think we need to
or
have that
do-
discussion.
yes,
Yeah,
Do as other municipalities do and everyone pays into it.
right.
Whether they have the sewer. or
I think
not.
we need to have that discussion as a board. So I don't know when you guys want to have it. But I think
Yeah.
sooner rather than later, because if we do move in that direction, or there may be other directions we can move into. Depending on
Yeah.
depending upon how we want to do it. We need to
It'd
get
be good to know
together.
all of our options.
Hmm?
It'd be good to know all of our options, in
Right.
terms of,
Yeah,
Now, would
Yeah.
Jim know all of those options?
You would be familiar with them, but really there's only a few that.
yeah, I could think of
Would,
3, maybe. Do nothing.
would he be available to
Sewer
counsel
district?
us on how to
Yeah, I
move
think he
forward with
could.
that? So we should set a
Meeting
up
with him, yeah.
I think first.
or if we can get information ahead of time, to
I've
be able to peruse.
done some reading online and unfortunately, a lot of it's very general.
Yeah,
So I want to understand what the process is we have to execute to put this in place, for instance.
exactly,
And maybe he can give us some ideas of where to go to look to do some research too.
right.
I believe it's RSA 147, 149.
149, yeah,
Yeah, that's all I've looked at so far.
yeah.
So could you set up a meeting, Steve, with the board to discuss this issue with Jim?
Would you like to do it prior to Ed getting involved or?
I think we can have those discussions. I don't want to wait until May.
Okay.
It'd be good to know, begin to understand.
We may
our
not even want to go
options
down that, we
fully.
may not even want to go down
If
that
Ed
road.
wanted to participate, he would be more than welcome to.
Oh, yeah, if he wants to
I'm-
join in the meeting with
What do you
Jim
think,
and that.
Dale? You wanna let everything else we've got going on right now with the AOC and legal discussions concerning that get resolved and look at late April or? Do you have a,
I think, we're probably gonna be looking at late April anyways to get something
Yeah,
out.
well, that's what I meant, yeah.
to get
No,
some-
I didn't mean tomorrow, but yeah, I think we need to just schedule something.
I mean, there's many other tasks, as the board is aware as well, that
Mhm,
Rath and Young is gonna be working on.
mhm.
So it's,
Well, if we can get some legal counsel from somebody there, I mean, who's aware of these things, doesn't have to necessarily be Jim.
yeah, I think the problem is that Jim is the lead and solo on most of
Okay.
the water. So,
Well, we can check with him and see what he thinks, when he thinks we should talk to him about this. Maybe that's the way to do it.
It's a relatively quick discussion.
Yeah, I think so. I think we just want to know what our options are and
Yeah.
what the implications are.
Right.
Margaret, you had something
Yeah,
you wanted to
just-
add?
On a point of clarification,
Mhm.
this is a sewer district affecting who?
Sewer district that would include everybody that's on sewer
Or has the ability to be on sewer,
or has the ability to be on sewer,
yes.
right?
Okay, so it's not about our friends up the hill who are all on septic systems. They would be excluded.
Well,
Theoretically,
that would be, that's
but that's only one
technically,
way.
that's
do
not,
it.
that's not the only way. Some towns don't have that. But other towns, larger towns, you know, a sewer district, a water district, the people who can participate by virtue of their location are part of that district. And they're the only ones who pay fees for that service.
So that would include the people out on River Road who never
Yes.
hooked up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you have the ability to hook up, right?
All right, let me reach out to him. I'll get some
Yeah.
availability mid to late April.
Whatever he thinks is,
Yeah.
have,
Okay.
throw some dates at us, whatever his schedule is like,
Sounds good.
yeah. Anything else,
No,
on
I'll do
that?
questions.
okay?
Thank you.
Shall we move on to the Boulder Path Notice of Award?
Yes, so I shared with you a couple of documents in your packet. As you recall, just prior to town meeting, we had a bidding process and
We did.
we now have in front of you, two notice of awards that represent thankfully, the same contractor who came in as low bidder on both the Boulder Path project and the Snows Mountain, Greeley Hill, and Jasinski Road projects. The contract award price is noted within each of the documents, and today we would just need a vote to authorize me to sign them and move forward. Did I miss anything, Megan?
No, yeah, just a vote to award the lowest bidder the project.
So the one is 4.2, right? Where is it? 4.235.922.25. And what's the other one? Where's the other one?
It's right above it.
It's above it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
Oh yeah, 1.8.
850-992 and 50 cents.
Oh, okay. And we already have that 186.
Well, most of it.
Most of it.
Well, that's what we approved last year.
Right.
Yeah.
So we better have it.
Well, we've
Well,
used
some more
up.
went into engineering
Engineering, yeah.
than was expected.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with,
Yep.
it's, as the process
Yep.
unfolded, that's what we said we'd do, so.
Yep.
I guess.
Make
a
it so.
motion.
Do you need
I'll make a
signature for
motion.
us or
No, I think
motion?
it's Steve does. So I'll make a motion that Assistant Town Manager sign the notice of award for the Snows Mountain, Greeley Hill, and Jasinski Road project and for the Boulder Path Road project.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I have one question related to it. Do we have a sense yet of when they plan to begin on Boulder Path?
They should be bringing in equipment mid-April.
So a couple weeks.
Staging it at the break.
And okay, that was my second question. Do you think they are going to want to use or need to use the area across from the tennis courts?
They have not indicated to me that
Okay.
they will.
We should pin that down because I know that'll be an issue for Snows Mountain. But that is generally where people park for tennis.
Mhm.
And if that's gonna be part of the Boulder Path project, we need to let people know that, especially the tennis center and Tom, that he's gonna have to alert his people not to park in that area this summer. That's gonna happen next year with Snows Mountain,
Yep.
for sure.
Thankfully, Boulder Path, our right of way through there is pretty large.
Right, and we'll be
So
able
they
to,
can
but
park the sidewalk / that.
yeah, no, I wanna make sure, I hate to have something at the last minute pop up.
Absolutely.
So
I'll make
please,
sure though.
please check with them. If they need it, they need it. If they don't, fine. Yeah.
Mhm.
Guys, good.
No, I'm
with
good.
That, okay, just
Yeah. absolutely.
prior planning prevents
Communication's always good.
poor
Yes.
performance. All right, anything else on Boulder Path? I think we're good there.
I saw it. Oh,
The
that's,
financial report then, I believe that was in a
that's in separate. email.
separate email.
Here, I gotta go elsewhere.
Let's see.
Just,
Really, those are drafts.
and Brooke's no longer here, but she pointed out the revenues in her department.
Yeah,
They're extraordinary for
You're excellent.
Yay.
the time of year. Other than that, there's nothing that jumped out at me. Did you all
Yeah.
have any?
I didn't see anything.
No.
Nope, I was good.
All right.
Dan, do you have anything you wanted to?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Move on to calendar review then.
Mhm.
So planning board meeting is next Thursday at 8:30 here. That's the 9th of April. And Dana, is there anything you want to talk about? We can get together and talk about ahead of time.
Okay.
Just let's talk about it offline. And I think I already mentioned the 5 documents and talked to Alicia.
Yep.
Get
And she
Get
sent
this.
that to me while we were in the meeting.
oh, so she saw my note?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Excellent.
And I have emailed with Bill Spence.
Great.
So
Great, the chair, right. And our next regular select board meeting is on the 15th here at
Yep.
3 p.m. Now, make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. We got, how many things we have listed for this meeting already? Steve, you were taking,
Half a dozen?
yeah, taking notes. You got them all?
I think so.
Okay, sorry, I missed MSW. I didn't have my book with me and
Okay.
just, it was trash, who cares?
Wendy, would you like, or
No, go
would the
ahead.
board appreciate if we did as we do with the wastewater treatment project, maybe kind of a continual MSW?
Yes,
That would make sense.
especially now since
Yeah.
we've told them to go ahead with their concept, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just
Yeah,
add
put
that.
in old business just like we do, the wastewater project.
Makes sense.
Something we may wanna discuss. Or start discussions is whether or not we're going to allow the theater group to be on the bill again.
Good point.
Yes, no, I had the board concerns and directors, do we have a letter from them?
Can
Oh,
you,
great.
Yeah,
you do?
she sent the letter,
Oh,
Yes.
okay,
or an email, excuse me.
okay.
It meant with all those other emails that you in particular were getting about the budget. There was one from,
I remember that, the
Yeah.
budget one. There's not another concerning the event this year?
no, oh, no, it was
it's-
quite detailed.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's more
it's-
to it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not just the budget. It's.
We need to talk about it, yeah.
No,
No, thank you
it's all
for reminding me. Sometimes I miss my own notes.
She wants the in-kind type support that we have, which is what we've given them in the way of.
Well, there's that, and there's the question of the use of the field
Yeah,
and all
that's
that.
what I mean,
Yeah,
in kind.
In kind, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Next meeting?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah. All right, correspondence, I believe there's one letter?
The one I include was from Rob Wilson,
Yeah.
A
there's
letter.
more?
a letter dated March the 17th.
Yeah,
Where he expresses some concern about the traffic speeds on Noon Peak Road. And actually goes into some pretty good detail on
yeah,
recommendations.
no, I
on
saw it,
How to curb
yeah,
those occurrences, I believe. Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Chief Payer looked into this.
Yep.
At least on one occasion.
Yeah,
Couple
we had
years
a
ago.
discussion with Rob.
yeah,
We historically, we've getting several complaints about Dune Peak Road, going very fast. We've done directed patrols there. We put the radar trailer out. The appearance of speeding there seems to be way more the issue than the actual speeding. 25 miles an hour is really fast.
it's
And,
narrow,
yeah,
so,
and so when you actually looked at the data from the speed display,
Yeah.
it was less than 1% for actually speeding.
Yeah.
24, 25 miles an hour. He put some suggestions. We told him, we've been down that road before with speed bumps.
town didn't want them.
It's, yeah, not practical in you know, for a number of ways.
Snow plows.
Yeah, well, we
You can put them
offered
down in the
to,
summer.
so we offered to have the trailer out there a little more frequently, you know, this summer. We can do some more extra patrols out there. And perhaps, you know, we can reach out to, you know, some of the associations up there to kind of help spread the word too.
Perhaps we could do another study just with the trailer.
Sure.
Dedicated for, now's not a good time. I maybe start Memorial Day for like a week or something.
Yeah,
Or pick a 2 or 3 periods. In the meantime, following up with the store stuff you're talking about.
Yep.
Just to get that baseline again and make us feel comfortable that it's still more appearance than actual.
Yeah, because I kind of do agree with Rob, because I mean, I'm right there towards where people should be slowing down, and it still feels quite fast, and I'm pretty attuned to how fast people are going, because I'm walking a lot, and I do use the radar things to test my appearance, my perception rather
Okay.
of, so I think it's worth looking into.
we've actually had, I don't know if Cindy, you participated, but we actually had folks sit in the car with us and watch the radar.
Go ahead. Sid.
And yes, how fast they were going and
Yeah,
see, it was actually a lot less than what they actually.
Yeah. It's a common phenomenon. Yeah,
To me, living up there, you know, I'm cognizant because I've been here for so long that I go 20 miles an hour. Sometimes that's too fast. You've got people walking on the road, you've got people walking.
right, no
dogs,
sidewalks.
You
yeah,
know, the road.
But
is
the lowest we can
wide.
go is 25.
The other thing is, I've almost been hit several times with people coming out of their condo units.
Right.
You know, they don't stop, they don't look up, they don't look down, they just go. And the other thing, a lot of that is just weekend people
Right.
that come up. Unfortunately, sorry, but it's just the winter people and the summer people that come up and visit. You know yourself, on Valley Road and those, people come up from Massachusetts for the hockey games. They think it's $4.95.
No, there are some issues on Valley. Boulder
Yeah.
Path can be
Yeah.
that way too.
I'm
'Cause it's a nice
surprised
long
nobody's
stretch.
hit those.
Yeah, it's very narrow road and I agree with everything, you said. You know,
Yeah.
people don't have an alternative place to walk and it can be. And honestly, 25 is too fast on
Yeah,
that
oh,
road, but
yeah.
statutorily, we can't make it any lower.
We do it.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do if it,
Can there
in
be
a
a
road
number?
like that.
Reduce.
Only for construction or that sort of,
Or
that sort of thing.
can
I
school
didn't know-
hours, can the school play into
School
it?
hours, we can go to 20, which it is.
Which it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which it is, but statutorily, we can't
Hmm.
go any lower.
There are
than
no
that.
exceptions to that.
Way.
Yeah.
I don't even know if stop signs at the exits from the condo associations, if they even pay attention to them.
Right.
Well, maybe we put our new radar sign in the wrong place on Valley, but maybe not. I mean, so I guess what you were,
Well, we have the trailer.
Yeah, and we can do a
usually put
study.
it out there.
Yeah.
Well, usually we try to put it out a week at a time in
Yeah.
a specific
and
location.
then you can take some.
You know, we
measurements.
can bump that up. We can do, you know, directed
Yeah.
patrols and especially focus on those times.
Yeah.
We can put the data out there. It gives us times too, so it tells us when's the best time for us to be there. You know, we can
Sure.
just to be there at 2
course.
o'clock or 3 o'clock, but if it's at 6 o'clock.
You're seeing it
then,
different, right?
Yeah.
On
you know,
Sunday
then we're-
mornings
then we're
or
not as effective.
Friday
So
afternoons.
We'll try to put it out there, see what we can get for times,
Yeah.
see when's
Yeah.
gonna be the most effective for us to be there.
Yeah.
And try to do some patrols around those times.
And then maybe reenact that study if you would, and maybe a Memorial Day weekend, just to see.
Yeah,
Yeah, when do you think the trip, by the way, what is the status of that trailer? When do you think it'll be out?
well, it's pretty muddy right now and
Yeah.
it's not a real,
We-
the season.
We got a
comes
new
to an
one,
end.
right? I mean, we did get it.
We did,
We did, right.
Yep.
The guy paid for it.
yep.
Yeah, or insurance company paid.
The
for
other
it.
one was broken
Yep,
Well, it
and it was
was,
replaced.
it was replaced.
yeah,
Yep.
it was hit, right?
Yeah, it was hit.
It would be.
It was hit.
It was
It's their call.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
One way
Now
it's
we
gonna-
have a new one.
we have a new one, but it was, insurance company
going up.
Okay,
Going up the hill.
Didn't realize it
We'll
had been
switch
hit.
it around.
yeah,
We can
yeah,
do both
last
sides- we
fall.
can do Both sides of the
Yeah.
road, yeah.
Yeah,
I
there-
know it had been broken at some point.
Sidewalk, do a temporary.
Okay, shall we move? We're gonna move on.
Yep.
Board concerns and directives, I think, I had, one, I think we have to re-engage on just a couple things, something that I think I may have told you, right, to put this on your tickler. We need to get back to the owners of the property, just west of the cemetery. We left it hanging with them. And maybe this is something we talk to Ed about first.
Yeah.
But we need to just make sure that's on a tickler somewhere. I just wanna forget that. It's one of those long-term things that tend to, get lost in the business. And you mentioned the request from Theater Under the Stars to use Packard's Field again. It was a very detailed email, so let's talk about it at our next meeting, get back to Donna.
Got it.
From my perspective, is if they can find a different place to store their stuff that they normally store here, and they have to have the ability to transport it versus relying on the DPW.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it at our next meeting and bring up these sorts of issues and I reply to
Yeah.
Donna.
Mhm.
Okay,
I mean, there's storage down at the end of the road, right?
well,
Down
we'll
in
look at it.
Hampton, there's storage there. you
Oh,
can use.
storage units, right.
I used one of those for years, cost a little money, but
You're talking about their stage though, right? All of their stuff.
All of this stuff.
No, because a lot of it is in my basement.
We have room for any more, Margaret. Are you sure?
All the costumes and all the props.
I see. Right, of course,
I think it is primarily
But the
stage.
larger
There's
pieces.
the actual structural stuff
yeah,
and the
structurals.
posts maybe and the chairs, the fence, stuff like that. All right, but we'll talk about it at our next meeting. Get back to Donna. Okay, did you guys have any board concerns?
Just to
Yep.
reiterate, I will be out of town.
Oh, that's right.
So let me get my calendar up. So I'll be out of town April 30th through May 7th.
Going anywhere good?
Yeah, over to Iceland.
Oh, nice.
To May 7th, you said?
Yep,
So you're going to be missing
the May 6th.
just the May 6th meeting?
Yep.
Okay, and I don't suppose you want to zoom in or call in?
Depending on where I'm at, I could, I just don't know.
Just one of those geothermal spas, they're quite nice, just sitting there with all that
Yeah, we've tried.
geothermal heat coming
I
up
know.
through the bubbling,
Yeah, we've tried to
bubbling
book
water.
places that have Wi-Fi, but you know how that
you never
goes.
know it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We will soldier on.
I have full confidence. that
Thank
we
you.
will.
Thank you very much. Anything else?
That was all that I
Yeah,
had.
Dan, did you have anything for board concerns or directives?
No, not today.
All righty, so I think we're done with the public portion of our agenda, so if I could have yes, Margaret.
Just give you a quick point of information. The
Sure.
state has passed a law saying that we have to scrub our voter checklist annually.
Or what?
A
Our
voter
voter
checklist, right?
And we must scrub it annually.
What
Right.
does scrubbing entail?
Scrubbing means
Affirming.
taking all of the people who have not voted in the last 5 years and sending them a letter saying, we're gonna take you off the list unless you can re-register at another time. That does not include people who have registered for the 2024 election or later, regardless of whether they voted or not.
Okay,
So, and we'll see how well our system has been working with taking people off, that we think have left town over the
Yeah,
years.
we've done that normally anyway. I mean, you
But
guys
we haven't done it based on their voting record.
not on their voting, just with more word of mouth, are they still here?
Well,
they
it's
move
more
out.
Now.
Now it is, yeah,
Yeah,
now
now
it is, right,
But,
right.
I don't anticipate there's going to be a big issue over this, but I mean, it literally means looking at all those.
Do you have to do it before the primaries in September?
We have to report that it has been completed by September 1st.
So that'd be before
Yeah.
the primaries then.
Yeah.
That's the target date.
So
Okay,
We'll be working on that over the next couple months.
But same day registration is still very much alive.
Yes,
and
very
that's-
much alive.
Okay,
So anybody.
so
that-
far.
Anybody that doesn't, for one reason or another, gets thrown off the list can always come in and
Right.
register.
But they've changed though, how you can do the same day registration, as I recall. In terms of documentation.
That's been changed for a while.
Yeah, okay. Very good. Do you think you need any resources from
No, I don't think so.
town? Is it post? Well, I mean, I don't know if you're set up with
don't have any.
with laptops or computer access. So, I mean, but I just meant in terms of laptops or,
No, we're fine.
you got all that already. You're all
Yeah.
good on that.
And supposedly the state is giving us something that will call our existing report and tell us who we need to be looking at, but we'll wait and see if that happens.
All right. Thank you for that update from the supervisors of the checklist. All right. Did you get that position filled? You guys all filled up?
Yes, Katie has been sworn in.
That's right. That was the
And now
coin
we just
toss,
have to
right?
get her on SVRS
Right.
So that she can help out.
All right. And then go down to Concord, all those wonderful courses. Very good. Thank you. So motion to go into non-public, please.
for personnel and negotiation.
Personnel and negotiations.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, guys.
Have a
It's
good
been
night.
fun.
Have a great night.
You too.
You
Megan, will
too.
you
Oh,
please
I got a question from Megan. Well, this is being turned off. Give me.
scan those over?
Yeah, you want me to send them to her?
Thank you so much.
Yeah.